Conley discusses Minnesota's unwavering internal belief, while Kyrie Irving explains why he and the Mavs have been the superior side in fourth quarters and clutch time through the first three games of this series. We've got a conversation with big man Naz Reed, an update from head coach Chris Finch, and we'll break down Minnesota's mental approach to that daunting 3-0 deficit with assistant coach Micah Nori. But we'll get this started with a look back at Sunday's Game 3. It was an all-too-familiar tune down the stretch of Sunday's fourth quarter. Yes, an impressive 21-11 finish to the third frame got Minnesota back into the contest. And yes, a Kyle Anderson jumper put the Wolves in front with just 5 minutes left. But just like was the case in Games 1 and 2, the Mavs were the far superior team in clutch time.
Luka dribbling with his left hand, signals the play with his right. He wants Gafford to come out and set the screen. Now zips it off to Kyrie to the corner. PJ Washington fires the three and buries it. Oh, man, just like he did in Game 1, a late three puts the Mavericks in front. Gafford the high screen. Luka to his left. Jaden still on him. Luka beats him into the paint, shoves off, pump fakes. Now the one-footed fall away. Got it. What a drastic fall away, too, as the Wolves inbound down 4 with 2:13 left. Kyrie Irving, he's got it right side. Takes a run on Cat along the baseline. He'll stop. He'll pop. The 18-footer is good. 1:07 left to play, and Kyrie Irving has put the hometown Mavericks up by 6 with 1:07 left. They can smell it. Luka with it. Left-handed dribble to the elbow. Down the lane. Lobs it up. Gafford throws it down with the right hand. And the Mavericks may have just gone up 3-0 in this best-of-7 Western Conference Finals. The alley-oop from Doncic to Gafford. 34.8 seconds left. It's a play that has just killed the Wolves over the first 3 games. The horn's going to sound here at the American Airlines Center, and the Dallas Mavericks win their third straight clutch time game. They out-execute the Wolves down the stretch, and they now have a commanding 3-0 series lead in this Western Conference Finals.
Dallas ends up dusting the Wolves with a 14-3 run to close the game, capturing a 116-107 victory and putting the Wolves on the brink of elimination. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving were once again dominant, combining for 66 more points, including 21 of Dallas's 29 in that fourth quarter. And Minnesota's offense went ice cold at the most inopportune time. But you can't accomplish the historical comeback if you don't first win Game 4. So that is what we'll focus in on tonight as we now head live to Dallas and say hello to both Alan Horton and Jim Peterson inside of American Airlines Center.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. Yeah, you can't win 4 before you win 1, and that's basically the approach that the coaching staff led by Chris Finch has kind of implored to the team. You just got to find a way to win 1, and the Wolves have put themselves in really good positions in these first 3 games. They just haven't been able to close them out. And I think even Ant sort of summed it up after the game the other night when he's like, incredulous that the Wolves haven't won one of these games yet because they've played well enough to have a win or two.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about this today as we were at shoot-around, and I was thinking about my experience of playing in the NBA Finals when I was with Houston Rockets. And, we were down 3-2 in that series, Alan, and if I would have known that when we were down 3-2 going back to Boston, if this was my last chance to win a championship, I don't know how differently I would have approached those last 2 games. And so, I think if you pose that to this team, if they knew that this, because for a lot of these players, Alan, this is the closest they're going to get to winning a championship. So
it's sad to say, but it's probably more the truth than anything. Mike Conley can speak to that. He went to the Western Conference Finals in 2013, hasn't been back since.
So I'm just saying, I just think that you have to approach it. So this is a do or die situation, obviously, for Minnesota. So you can't leave anything out on the floor. And you can't have breakdowns. And so, again, you look at the film in Game 3, and Anthony Edwards, again, had some breakdown situations, whether it was turnovers or it was a missed coverage on a P.J. Washington 3 in the corner. You can't have moments like that in a playoff situation like this when you're going to be eliminated. So it's going to be very important for them to be on point. They worked on, again, it's going to be a more aggressive game from what we saw in coverage, right? Going through the defensive paces this morning. They're going to go at Luka a little bit more aggressively than they have been.
I think we've seen more breakdowns defensively going up against this Luka-led offense. Now, it puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense, but Ant hasn't been the only one who's been slow in rotations or whether it's tagging a roller, whether it's rotating over, preventing those lob dunks that we've seen time and time again. This Dallas offense is playing at a really high level, and what's scary, Jim, is their half-court offensive rating has gotten better in each of the 3 games.
Well, I mean, it's one of the things you think about Luka Doncic and his history of playing, against grown men since he's been 15 years of age. I mean, he was EuroLeague champion when he was 19. So, I mean, this guy has been through big moments, both in his home country and in Spain, and also playing, here with the Dallas Mavericks, getting them to the Western Conference Finals multiple times now. So, I just think that Luka Doncic he's seen every coverage. It's like Nikola Jokic. They're basketball supercomputers. They've seen all the different coverages, and so even when you change coverage from possession to possession or quarter to quarter, they recognize it right away and they know what the counters are. So, and the good thing is that I think for Minnesota, you still have room to do better. So they just Rudy Gobert is, I'm frustrated because Rudy's not been Rudy, and it's all the flack he's taken right now nationally. People that, they parachute in during the playoffs here, Alan, and they don't watch him during the course of the season, and they're sitting there judging him for what's happening in this particular series, and it's just unfair. And they turn the narrative of him in Denver not guarding Nikola Jokic. Yeah. It's about getting stopped. It's not him guarding any particular person. It's about his team getting stops.
And particularly disappointing for Kendrick Perkins, who has been on the Timberwolves bandwagon, I think, from a national perspective, probably earlier than anybody in the league. And for him to come out and says he regrets his Defensive Player of the Year vote and says his defense is a liability. I mean, it's just, come on. You have to be better than that. Yeah. Kendrick Perkins has to be better than that. Draymond Green, I don't think there's any hope for him ever looking at a game objectively or players objectively. And I think Charles and Shaq have fallen into that trap as well of just quickly looking at Rudy and blaming him.
Well,
tired of it.
And certainly, and you and I talked about this last ball game, that the plus-minus situation is one that you can look at and see how dominant Rudy's been and how good he's been for Minnesota. So, I mean, it's not the be-all and end-all, but it is certainly an indicator that narrative is not correct.
When Rudy is on the floor, the Wolves have a 110 defensive rating, giving up 110 points per 100 possessions. When he sits, it's a 135. That speaks volumes to me. I don't know that you could argue anything other than what those numbers tell you. Sometimes numbers are better than the eye test. Anyway, Rudy's going to play his game. Cat's got to get going. If he can't get it going offensively, he's got to get it going defensively. Dallas is shooting almost 70% when Cat is the closest defender. His lack of offense is affecting his defense.
He's really getting twisted up in pick and roll game in terms of being the low man defensively because he's guarding guys in the corner. And so when Luka's coming downhill at you, he doesn't know whether to take the roller or to go back out and fan back out to the corner. And Luka's so good. I was talking to Joe Boylan about this, assistant coach Joe Boylan, and Joe was saying that Luka does such an amazing job of manipulating defenders with his eyes. Yep. And so he might be looking out to the corner, so that might make Cat try to shade to the corner, but then he's looking at the roller as he's hitting the roller. So it's just one of those things where Luka's Luka. I mean, that's how Magic Johnson used to beat people all the time too. So I just think that Luka's a special player. Is he Larry Bird at this juncture? Probably not. Larry was such a dominant player, but there's a lot of things to like about his game for sure.
Wolves need to get things going at the three-point line too. Their three-point numbers have decreased. Dallas is on the rise. McKeel's won for his last 15. Cat has missed 10 straight. Cal, they've got to get some numbers going from distance to try to even this game out here in Game 4.
Yeah, just 9 of 30 from long range in that Game 3 loss. Alan mentioned Cat in the shooting slump, probably leaking into his defensive efforts, so we'll see if he can get some positive regression and maybe the Wolves can start to knock down some triples and put a little pressure on Dallas in that sense. Jim mentioned the urgency that these players might have to play with, knowing that these opportunities don't come around often. We're going to hear from Mike Conley speaking on exactly that when we return here on the Tip-Off Show, getting set for Game 4 right here on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
Hello, I'm Matt Meyer, fifth-generation farmer from Clearwater, Minnesota, and owner of Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. we believe the tastiest, most nutritious beef comes from cattle that are regeneratively grazed for their lifetime, never confined to a feedlot, never fed GMO plants or grains, and not exposed to chemical pesticides like glyphosate. Please find our grass-fed beef at Coburn's and your local food co-op. Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed, nourishing soil, plants, cattle, and people by holistically grazing cattle for their lifetime.
Hey, honey, the battery light on my dash lit up. I think I'll take it to a shop today.
Really? I can take care of that.
Are you sure?
Of course. Okay, got my battery. Let's just drop it in and...
Are you okay out there?
I think so.
Should my car be smoking like that?
Some things are better left to the professional. When you need your vehicle fixed, trust your local repair facility. And when you need a battery, trust FVP. Visit FVPparts.com for an installer near you.
Honestly, I believe it's still there. I do. That's why it's frustrating. It's more frustrating than it is anything because we know how good of a team we have, what we put ourselves through this season, how much we've worked throughout this playoffs to become a better team, a better unit, and it's frustrating. You look up and you're down 0-3. But a lot of that has to do with what Dallas has done. A lot has had to do with things we can fix. But we believe we can fix a lot of that, and if we can just come out Game 4 and do that, we give ourselves a chance.
Mike Conley right there insisting the internal belief within the Wolves team remains despite this frustrating 3-0 series deficit. The Wolves have been tantalizingly close to capturing victories in all of the 3 games to begin this series, but they've suffered turnovers, defensive lapses, and at times have just plain fallen victim to some truly high-level shot making from the Mavs. After such an emotional Game 7 win against the Nuggets in the previous round, helped Minnesota to get this far, only to then suffer 3 straight agonizing defeats. Well, it's made for some sleepless nights, says Conley.
Oh, man. I have not slept. I can tell you that, this whole week. Because I know how hard it is to get here. I know how hard it is to have an opportunity like this. And they don't come very often. So to be looking up and you're down, 0-3 is, and, just... You're 4 wins away from opportunity of a lifetime, and something I've been thinking and dreaming about, for 17 years, even as a kid. Before that, so dang near my whole life. So, it's just something that I gotta try to focus on what I can do next to help this team for Game 4, not so much on the what ifs of not making it.
Hard not to feel for Mike and what he's going through. This time last week, it felt like the Wolves were on the doorstep of the NBA Finals, and they now find themselves on the precipice of elimination should they come up short again tonight. For more on Minnesota's mentality with the margin for error in the series now gone and how they'll view and approach the task of 4 straight wins against such a lethal Mavs bunch, let's get back to Dallas where Alan Horton's standing by with Wolves assistant coach Mike Nori.
All right, Cal, courtside here for Game 4, Wolves and Mavericks, the Micah matchup. We're talking mentality. Down 0-3, Micah, what's the biggest thing for the guys to kind of take into tonight's game, knowing that their backs are up against the wall?
I think number one, like everything, and it's a little cliche-ish, but it's one game at a time. You got to win this first one before you get to the next ones. But I think for a group that is down 0-3, there is a quiet confidence and still a belief for sure because of the fact that, we've led. All 3 games we've led in the last 5 minutes, and it's been more the last 4 or 5 minutes execution that has really hurt us. I think the other thing, when anytime you're trying to do something that hasn't been done, you got to look back on past history. And although we've never been in this position as a group, we have been in this position during the year. And when you look at it, we've won 4 more games 6 separate times. We've never had a 3-game losing streak until we lost games 3, 4, and 5 versus Denver. So obviously we've never lost 4 in a row. And I think the other thing, Coach Finch was talking to the group yesterday, and it reminded him a little bit, and I thought it was great of the Phoenix series in the season against them, and meaning we lose 3 games, then we come out and win 4 straight in the playoffs. So the belief is there. I think guys feel good, obviously, about moving forward. They don't feel good about how the first 3 games turned out, and specifically down the stretch of games. But the mentality of the group is there, it's connected, and there is a belief.
And if you win one game, I mean, it does change the equation. It forces them to go back up to Minnesota and win a Game 5, and the Wolves are on their home floor, and maybe, all of a sudden you're talking about a Game 6 back here. And I think they probably looked at what happened with Boston and Indiana last night. They're going to come out focused tonight because they don't want to have to go back up to the Twin Cities.
Absolutely. And I think you said it. I mean, if we can get tonight, just win one, and then all of a sudden we go back home where, let's be honest, I mean, we struggled a little bit. I think we're 1 in our last 4 in the playoffs at home, so we're due to play better. We will play well at home, and then to your point, we come back here for Game 6. All of a sudden, the pressure shifts a little bit. They need to win that one so that they can avoid a Game 7 back at home. But all that starts with a good approach tonight. Again, quarter by quarter, play by play, and just making sure that we take care of that first. And if we can do all that, then everything sets itself up as we go on. But we got to get this one tonight, obviously.
All right, Cal, that's the Micah matchup for tonight. The mentality for the Wolves heading into Game 4. Micah, as always, appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thank you, Alan. Appreciate you.
Mike and Ori. Cal, back to you.
All right, that is the game between the ears for the Timberwolves, as mindset and perspective will be paramount if they hope to make even more NBA history on this postseason run. What about the opponent? After his 33-point performance in Sunday's Game 3 win, Luka Doncic asked about their 3-0 cushion and the fact that no team in NBA history has come back to win a series after losing the first 3.
Don't even say it, man. But it feels great. But we got to think about next game. Got to play with the same mentality. They're not going to go away. No way. So we need to prepare for the next game. We just got to think about next game.
Sounds like he does not want to jinx it there at all. We'll hear from his backcourt partner, Kyrie Irving, as the tip-off show continues here on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
Hey, this is Ben Lieber from my friends at Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. I am passionate about the benefits of regenerative agriculture, and these guys get it. Thousand Hills implements holistic grazing practices that restore and enhance our soil and natural resources. It's how farming should be. Plus, the beef is delicious. No antibiotics, no synthetic hormones, no feedlot confinements, just grazing on diverse pastures for the entire life of the animal. Check out this Minnesota brand at your local food co-op, Coburn's, or learn more at thousandhillslifetimegraze.com.
Hey, honey, the battery light on my dash lit up. I think I'll take it to a shop today.
Really? I can take care of that.
Are you sure?
Of course. Okay, got my battery. Let's just drop it in and...
Are you okay out there?
I think so.
Should my car be smoking like that?
Some things are better left to the professional. When you need your vehicle fixed, trust your local repair facility. And when you need a battery, trust FVP. Visit FVPparts.com for an installer near you.
It means absolutely nothing right now. That's not even something I'm thinking about. Going into Game 4, it's still 0-0, and that's the type of motivation and mentality we have in that locker room. It's not just me. We feel like the job isn't finished, and we're going against one of the greatest teams in the world. They still have the capability of beating us on any given night, and we have to treat them like that. So, got to appreciate where we are, but at the same time, don't take it for granted, and don't take the other team for granted, because they're pretty sure they're going to watch this interview. They're going to study all our habits and see if we, lay down a little bit and get comfortable. I don't want to get comfortable at all. I want to push forward even more so and have our best Game 4, and live with the results after that.
Kyrie Irving certainly not satisfied, not even letting the thought of that 3-0 cushion creep into his mind. He and his Mavs teammates are likely expecting Minnesota's best punch here in tonight's win-or-go-home setting. And it's a little strange to say out loud, but the Wolves have played well for large stretches of these first 3 games. They obviously had an 18-point lead in that Game 2 before Luka's eventual dagger. They roared back in the third quarter on Sunday and had a lead with 5 minutes left. In fact, they've had late leads in all 3 of these games, only to see the Mavs out-execute them down the stretch. Here's Kyrie on how the Mavs have thrived in the game's biggest moments.
Yeah, no, the fourth quarter is, You get a chance to see your competitors' emotions. You get to see what they're made of. You get to see the plays that they run in the clutch, and it's just a chess match. So I think that's the approach I take throughout most of the game, but especially in the fourth quarter when the game is in the balance. They're taking the lead, we're taking the lead. There's a few foul calls that are called that slows the game down. But you just got to pay attention to all the little things. You know, I feel like you put yourself in a great position. And also when we come into our huddles, whether we're on the floor or whether in timeouts, we are constantly communicating. And we're constantly giving each other that reassurance and confidence that, you know, we're a good team too, and we got to finish the job.
They certainly have looked the part through these first 3 games. For more on how the Wolves hope to engineer a turnaround, let's send it back to Alan for a chat with Wolves center and 6th man of the year, Naz Reed.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. We get set for game 4 here. It's Wolves and Mavs. And Naz, you guys face a difficult situation, but you were in the situation last round against Denver with facing elimination. Do you guys still take a little confidence from what happened in that Denver series?
Yeah, I think even just confidence from this series, I think we kind of let this slip away out of our hands the last 2-3 minutes. And that's kind of something that I think everybody's locked in and engaged on. I mean, it took us 3 games, but again, like, that's just, you know, the desperate mindset you have to have throughout the whole series.
You guys have been right there, as you mentioned. All 3 games, you've had a lead in the final 5 minutes. Has it been frustrating not to kind of close those out?
A little bit, yeah, definitely. But it is a series. It is 1st and 4. So I think, you know, we are going to be able to handle business tonight and, you know, make this series keep going.
You feel like you found a little bit of a rhythm in this series?
Yeah, I have. I believe so. I mean, just keeping up the reps. I think just even the last 2 series, I don't think I was offensively. I was me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I had that power. But we still won, so no problem. And it was mandatory for me to find it this series, though, to, you know, impact it each and every way.
You know, you guys have played really well on the road in the postseason. Is there something about being on the road that has made a difference, do you think?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I just know we have brought it, like you said. And, I mean, we're on the road today, so we got to continue doing that.
You know, Dallas probably saw what Boston did to Indiana last night. They probably want to end this series, so they're going to come out and try to make sure they don't give you guys any life, right?
100%. And you just said something we can't allow. So I think everybody's stepping up. Everybody doesn't want to be in that situation where we're going home with no wins. So I think, you know, everybody's locked in and, you know, engaged tonight.
Is there the mentality that, hey, let's just focus in on getting 1 and then see where this thing goes?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with 1. You can't say you're going to get 4 in a row. And, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it starts with one game at a time. Some may take 1 quarter at a time. And then, you know, we win the whole game. But, yeah, it's one thing at a time.
They have gotten in a rhythm behind Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. And at times they've been able to kind of pick you guys apart with lobs inside or hitting the corner threes. How tough is it to go up against like a Luka Doncic-led offense when he's seeing the floor so well?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, he's one of the greatest players in the game. He's MVP caliber. I mean, I think, you know, his playmaking and scoring it makes it hard for, you know, guys. And that's something that, you know, it's a blessing to him and, you know, to have that. And, but yeah, like, it's something that we have to stop and, you know, have or contain. So no matter, no ifs, ands, or buts, it's something we got to do.
I felt like you guys offensively were able to attack in the paint, especially after Derek Lively left the game. Was that kind of a mentality in the second half to attack the rim more?
I mean, yeah, for me, it was just to get whatever done possible. I mean, I think we're just trying to get in positions where we can be great and we can be successful. So I think, you know, if that's the case, then let's just get it done.
Naz, as always, appreciate it. All the best.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Naz Reed, Cal, let's go back to you.
Head coach Chris Finch is next on the Timberwolves radio network.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
You're listening to the Tip-Off Show on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
I was honored to be able to talk to him again at All-Star Weekend and have a great conversation with him, and he's always been just such a nice guy who just kind of brings the energy to the room that can't be talked about unless you meet him, and he lights up every room he's in, and he always has such a big personality. I think that everyone knows, so it's definitely it's a sad day in the NBA. It's a sad day for the fraternity to lose such an amazing, not only player and someone who's contributed so much to our game, but such an amazing person who's really brought a bright spot to a lot of people's lives.
Well said from Karl Anthony Towns earlier this morning, as yesterday the basketball world lost a legend, Bill Walton, passing away at 71 after a prolonged battle with cancer. 2 NCAA titles at UCLA, 2 NBA championships, and yesterday, Commissioner Adam Silver remembering Walton and his zest for life. He certainly had an energy and an aura that impacted everyone who crossed paths with him. Welcome back inside the Tip-Off Show. Cal Soderquist here getting you set for Wolves and Mavs just moments from now for a preview of what's possible in this Game 4 clash. Alan Horton and head coach Chris Finch with tonight's U.S. Bank pregame preview.
All right, Cal, thank you very much inside the coach's office here. And before we get to Game 4, there'll be a moment of silence before the game tonight, Coach, with Bill Walton being honored. He passed yesterday. Did you have a chance to come across Bill Walton? I know probably growing up you saw him play in the 80s, and I watched him a bunch with the Celtics in 86. But you get a chance to ever cross paths with him?
I did, actually. He was pretty close with Kevin McHale, and when I worked with Kevin McHale, there was a number of times where he had stopped by, or we were on the road, or kind of met him along the way. So yeah, it just seemed like a phenomenal guy. I loved watching him play, particularly 86 Celtics team, and just such a skilled and talented guy. Won everywhere all the time, and it was just such a big, warm personality. That's what I noticed when I was around, and just genuine. And I know how much he meant to his teammates, on that 86 team.
So you got a glimpse of sort of that love for life that he has, and you could hear it when he was broadcasting. Dave Pasch is doing the game for ESPN Radio. That was his TV partner for so many Pac-12 games. But you got a little taste of that sort of personality of Bill Walton.
Yeah, and I used to love when he did the NBA games back on NBC. I just thought he brought such a great, kind of dynamic to that broadcast, and I love those Pac-12 games. Just listening to him.
You never knew where it was going to go.
Yeah, and I've actually talked to Dave about it. In previous opportunities. That's like you got a live one on your hands there.
Every single night. Tonight it is Game 4. You guys are down 3-0. Is it a similar situation to Game 6 against Denver, where your backs are against the wall and you're just trying to find a way to win one game?
Absolutely. But we got to focus on playing our best basketball of the series, and that's it. It's just within us. We've had some moments here and there. We haven't sustained it. We've given ourselves a chance to win every single game, and we haven't. All credit to Dallas. They've done some things to take us, out of our game, but they've also made incredible shots, and we've got to be able to be the team making those shots tonight and playing the defense to disrupt them.
Much has been made of Karl's shooting over this series. We know that part of it. Defensively, has this been a different series for him as opposed to maybe Phoenix when he's guarding Kevin Durant, Denver on ball against Jokic? Has this been kind of different being off the ball and being in some more difficult spots, especially when Doncic turns the corner?
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you're up and putting 2 on the ball as aggressively as we did and have done at times throughout Game 3, it puts everybody in rotation. If Cat's up, then Rudy's in rotation and vice versa. So that makes it a little challenging when there's some less than ideal closeouts, not just with Cat but others. That's just the nature of it, of the defense. And we've been dying by the poison that we've been picking, and I don't think we're picking the wrong one. It's just they've done a good job of stepping up and making the right play.
You guys won the battle in the paint last game and at the rim, and with Derek Lively out, you feel like you can build some momentum off of what you did in Game 3 there?
I think so. We played a little quicker, went a little faster, and of course with their lack of size in their substitution pattern, they still have it with Gafford. But it does present some challenges if they go Kleiber at the 5. That's a stretch 5, and that can go 5 out. So we got lineups we feel it can match up against that too.
You've talked about that, increasing the pace a little bit, getting some early attack options. One, that's not the nature of this team. They have to consciously push the ball and make some of those opportunities, but there haven't been a ton of them too. Not when Dallas is shooting 56% last game, and they're not really turning it over.
Yeah, we did. We had a number of examples we show and share with the team that even after they scored, we had some of our best offenses when we did pick up the pace, force things to happen early, and before they were able to get set. And that's really the whole key.
Game 4 is coming up. Coach, as always, appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Chris Finch, Cal, back to you.
Dying by the poison we've been picking. That sums it up rather succinctly. Tip off next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
This is Kyle Anderson. Timberwolves basketball starts now.
Grant looking for the step back three. Good pump fake. Now swings it far side. Anderson's got to run it up at the buzzer and hits it off the 1 foot. He caught it and pushed it up from 18 feet out of the right side. What a play by Kyle Anderson.
Tonight, the Wolves and Mavs are set for a pivotal Game 4 showdown in Dallas. Wolves Playoff Basketball is brought to you by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. By Marvin, custom crafted windows and doors designed for your world. By Treasure Island Resort and Casino, the exclusive casino partner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And by Mayo Clinic, your source for medical answers. With the call of tonight's game, here's Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
3 times in 3 games in this Western Conference Finals, the Timberwolves had held a lead going into the final 5 minutes of the game. But 3 times the Mavericks have rallied. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving doing damage down the stretch and moving the Mavs to within 1 win of the NBA Finals for the 3rd time in their franchise history. For the Wolves, it's an elimination game, a loss, and their season comes to an end. It's a similar position to where they were in Games 6 and 7 against the Denver Nuggets. They won both of those games. Tonight, it's Game 4. Wolves and Mavs. Dallas up 3-0 in the series.
We just got to get the first one. I think we get the first one, then, we'll worry about the next one. But right now, we got to stay in the present. We've done a great job when we've been faced with adversity, so another chance for us to prove it.
I think everybody's stepping up. Everybody doesn't want to be in that situation where we're going home with no wins. So I think, everybody's locked in and, engaged tonight. It starts with one. You can't say you're going to get 4 in a row. And, you know what I'm saying? So, it starts with one game at a time. Some may take 1 quarter at a time, and then, we win the whole game. But, yeah, it's one thing at a time.
Honestly, I believe it's still there. I do. That's why it's frustrating. It's more frustrating than it is anything because we know how good of a team we have, what we've put ourselves through this season, how much we've worked throughout this playoffs to become a better team, a better unit, and it's frustrating when you look up and you're down 0-3. But a lot of that has to do with what Dallas has done. A lot has had to do with things we can fix, but we believe we can fix a lot of that. And if we can just come out Game 4 and do that, we give ourselves a chance.
Naz Reed, Karl Anthony Towns, Mike Conley summing up Game 4 here, facing elimination. No team in NBA history has come back from a 3-0 series deficit, 0-155. But Jim Peterson, why not us? Don't let us win one. Yeah. Don't let it happen.
Yeah, that's what Chris Finch's mantra has been all season long. Why not us? So you got to get the first one in order to get the second one. And so here we are. You go back to Target Center, anything can happen. And this is an exciting atmosphere here.
Yep. It's a closeout game for the Mavs. They saw what Boston did the other night, last night against Indiana. They want to follow suit. And if they're going to do that, they need to win here tonight, get as much rest as the Celtics did with their sweep of Indiana. Timberwolves starting lineup sounds like this.
Hey, this is head coach Chris Finch, and here's our starting lineup for tonight. At guard,
Mike Conley, Ohio State.
Out of McDaniels to the corner. Conley lets it fly and buries it. 6-point game.
At guard, Anthony Edwards, University of Georgia.
And the Wolves on the move, right side in. Donovan to stop the pop three, dribbles in. Look out, he slams it for 2. Anthony Edwards.
At forward,
Jay McDaniels, University of Washington.
Out to Naz Reed. He'll hoist an angle 3 in and out. No. James Titball at the buzzer. Count it, baby.
At forward,
Karl Anthony Towns, BBN for life.
Towns with it, right corner. He'll just turn fire over Murray. And traded. It's a 3 for Karl Anthony Towns. Michael Malone needs a timeout.
At center,
Rudy Gobert, Saint-Quentin, France.
Jukes on KCP. Up top to Towns. He'll take a rumble into the lane. Lobs it for Rudy, who throws it down with 2 hands. The onslaught continues. This Timberwolves starting lineup got off to a good start in Game 1. They were a +7 in 21 minutes. Game 2, a -3 in 12 minutes. And Game 3, -10 in 16 minutes. Heading the wrong direction for the starting lineup of Conley, Edwards, McDaniels, Towns, and Gobert. For Jason Kidd's Mavericks, they're 3-0. Things are going swimmingly for them. Great clutch time play. They've got Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Derrick Jones Jr., P.J. Washington, and Daniel Gafford in the starting lineup. As the Mavs look to close out the series. They are 8-2 in closeout games since winning, including that title run in 2011. And, of course, Kyrie Irving 14-0 in closeout games in his career. Now, he's been on some good teams, so that stat's a little overblown, but still, not one loss in there, Jim Peterson, for Kyrie Irving?
Well, that's the thing. When you play with LeBron James, you also have him on your side, so those closeout games become a lot more, easier to execute with LeBron James on your team. But still, Kyrie is an incredible partner with Luka Doncic. He's shown it here in this series so far this year.
Scott Foster will toss it up, and Game 4 is underway, and Kyrie Irving comes down with it after the back tap by Daniel Gafford. So here come the Mavericks from left to right. Once again, they're in their statement edition jerseys, as they have got navy blue tops and bottoms with Mavs across their front of their chest. Derek Jones Jr. on a run into the paint to P.J. Washington. Now to Luka Doncic in the corner. Luka's going to fire on the three. That clangs off the rim, and the Wolves have the rebound. Outlet to Mike Conley, and here come the Wolves, their first offensive possession of the game. Dallas over the first 3 games, a 118 offensive rating. The Wolves at a 114. There's Ant bumped baseline, feeds it to Rudy on the run to the rim, and Scott Foster says, negate the play. Ant stepped on the baseline, but that's because he got bodied right out of bounds. So Dallas will take control here. Still no score. Their second opportunity at the offensive end. Off a Derek Jones Jr. screen is Kyrie beating McDaniels down the lane. Floater with the right hand drops in. Non-rim twos for Kyrie Irving in this series, Jim Peterson. He's shooting a whopping 56%.
Pretty amazing. So accurate and just sifts his way to the rim so easily.
There's McDaniels crossover, elbow jumpers up and in.
That's a good sign right there.
Only over Daniel Gafford. Gafford leaks out. They try to hit him on the run, and Mike Conley tips it away from Gafford and controls it. A rare turnover on Luka and the Mavs. Towns on a run against Gafford, runs it up down the lane and banks it in for 2. Timberwolves 4 quick points. They lead by 2.
That's the kind of shot that Karl Anthony Towns has not been able to hit. That little runner right there kisses it off the glass and it goes in.
And he still didn't get quite all the way to the rim. And it was an awkward scissor-kicking move in the lane. But Cat got it to drop, and that's the most important thing, hitting his first shot of the night. Luka on the move against Ant. Free throw line extended left side. Comes up short in the jumper. Ant collects the rebound.
Minnesota's going to play drop coverage against Luka Doncic, and they're going to see if he's going to make shots or not, and then they're going to cycle through all of their coverages.
And good feed inside to Rudy, who fumbled it against Kyrie, and Gafford comes away with the ball. Luka now cross court. Here's Kyrie on the move. To the right elbow, now to the corner. P.J. Washington fires on the 3. That's offline. Rebound kept alive by Gafford. Boy, that looked like it hit the baseline.
Sure did.
Ed Malloy says, play on. Luka's got it. Deep 3, left angle on the way, and he hits it. Doncic from beyond the arc shooting 41% in this series. I thought that play should have been out of bounds. We have a pretty good look at that baseline, too, from our bird's eye view here in Dallas, the American Airlines Center. 5-4. Dallas by 1. Here's Ant moving in the lane. Got stripped as he split Derek Jones Jr. and P.J. Washington, and a whistle and a foul.
Lucky to get the call that time, too. I mean, he comes off that handoff by Karl Anthony Towns, and he wasn't going to settle. Could have shot the 3, split 2 defenders, and gets the foul call there as the ball stripped from his hands.
And they put Ant at the free throw line. Wow. I thought that was a little generous.
That is very generous.
First free throw is up for Ant, and he drains it. So Ant's scoring in this 3-game series so far, 19 points, 21 points, then 26 in Game 3. And in that Game 3, Jimmy, he had 26 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. And it's been a struggle for Ant, but I feel like he's progressing. The problem is the series is not going to go on forever.
Yes, you only get a few games to warm up.
Yeah. 2 free throws are good. The Wolves are back in front 6-5. Here's Luka. Got stripped from behind by Anthony Edwards, but Ed Malloy makes the call. And Ant will pick up his first personal foul. Sideline out of bounds here for Dallas.
And reaches around the backside that time as Luka's spinning. Had him with the right hand around the waist, though. You can't do that.
That's the first foul against the Timberwolves. Mavericks have 1 foul and 1 turnover thus far. Timberwolves, couple of turnovers. On the perimeter, Gafford hounded off to Derek Jones Jr. He's averaging 8 points a game here in this series. To the corner, Irving got stripped. The ball's loose, and Rudy Gobert scoops it up. Here comes Mike weaving his way up across the timeline. Now to Ant up top. Ant surveys the scene. Here comes Rudy to set the screen. To his right. Ant crosses over to the left hand. In the paint. Rises up. Shot blocked, but a whistle and a foul.
Well, you can hear Ant scream out with the hay call right there as he snakes his way back to the middle of the painted area. Daniel Gafford hits him as he rises up to shoot the mid-range jump shot right at the dotted line.
So one of the storylines of this game is that there's no Derek Lively II. He's out with a neck sprain. He hurt that. He got hit in the back of the head by Karl Anthony Towns' right knee in game 2. And so Gafford, if he gets into foul difficulty, will it be Dwight Powell? Will it be Maxi Kleber, who is now available here for game 4?
Good question. I think that we saw Dwight Powell last ball game, and Dwight Powell didn't play the greatest as Ant misses both free throws here.
He hit his first 2, and he just missed these 2. 6-5. Timberwolves by 1. Kyrie on the loose. Into the lane. Hop, skip, and a jump. Lost it again. Couple of turnovers on Kyrie Irving, and the Wolves come away with it. There's Mike up into the front court. Conley left side off the Rudy screen, circling around to the top of the key. Into the paint, runs it up on the floater, and he hits. 8-5, Timberwolves by 3.
So deftly done by Mike that time. Probes initially on the sideline, reverses field, comes back to the middle, and throws in a little floater right in front of the rim.
8-3 Timberwolves run after Dallas started the game up 2-0. Luka high screen. Jaden just blows up the Gafford screen. Now Luka inside to Derrick Jones Jr. Tough shot over Rudy. That's no good. Wolves have the rebound there, looking to push. And on the hunt, down the lane, rises up, double clutches, layup, good with the left hand. It's a 10-3 Timberwolves run, and they're doubling up the Mavs early.
Rudy only has 3 blocks in the series and doesn't get credit for one right there, but he's the one that definitely made Dallas miss that last shot.
No doubt about that. Luka, free throw line extended, mid-range jumper on the way is good. Luka shooting 46% in this series. 10-7, Timberwolves by 3. Here's Conley across the timeline. Towns left side's got it. P.J. Washington has done expertly on him defensively. Towns up top off the Rudy screen. Got bumped at the elbow. And Scott Foster makes that call. Not in the act of shooting. No. 10-7, Timberwolves lead by 3. There's 7:39 left to play in this first quarter.
So the answer to your question is Dwight Powell. Powell comes to the game. They were platooning the 2 bigs all the time. Dwight Powell comes into the game here for Dallas to spend Daniel Gafford.
Here's Conley working off the Gobert screen. Pops on the 3. It's off the back iron. No. And the Dallas Mavericks come away with the rebound. Here's Luka in the front court. Stop and pop. Right angle 3 over Ant. He drained it.
Unreal.
I mean, that's too tough. That is too tough. Luka ties the game. It's a 5-0 Dallas run.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest defense in the world, but it wasn't the worst either. I mean, Ant was backed up a little bit, tried to close out, but Luka is just using Ant's hand as a gun sight.
Here's Cat, feeds it to Rudy down the lane. He took him across the baseline, and Rudy's pass out got picked off. Turnover on Minnesota. That is their 3rd turnover the opening quarter. Already 5 points off of turnovers for Dallas. Kyrie against Rudy. Right side pull-up 3, no. And Anthony Edwards has the rebound. Here's Ant up into the front court. A pull-up left angle 3 of his own. Missed that one long. And the rebound to Luka Doncic. Tied at 10, 6:35 left to go opening quarter. Here's Kyrie on the move against Conley. Stop and pop, mid-post jumper. That's no good. Rebound tapped out. It's out of bounds. It'll be Timberwolves basketball.
I just don't like the walk-up 3 by Anthony Edwards. You're not making Dallas have to work at all. You come all the way down and get a stop, and then you go down to the other end and take a quick 3 in transition, Alan. It's not a prescription for success for Minnesota.
Yeah, that's not their game. That's Luka's game. It might be Kyrie's game. It's not the Timberwolves game.
It's not.
10-10, 6:30 left to go in the opening quarter. Time out on the floor. We step aside in game 4. Dallas up 3-0. You're listening to Minnesota Timberwolves basketball.
Anything can happen when you say I'm in to a scratch game from the Minnesota Lottery. Besides cash prizes, some scratch games offer a second chance, so even non-winning tickets can win. Since this is probably music to your ears, we'll say it again, in a song. Besides cash prizes, some scratch games offer a second chance, so even non-winning tickets can win. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
Hey, honey, the battery light on my dash lit up. I think I'll take it to a shop today.
Really? I can take care of that.
Are you sure?
Of course. Okay, got my battery. Let's just drop it in and...
Are you okay out there?
I think so.
Should my car be smoking like that?
Some things are better left to the professional. When you need your vehicle fixed, trust your local repair facility. And when you need a battery, trust FVP. Visit FVPparts.com for an installer near you.
Hello, I'm Matt Meyer, fifth-generation farmer from Clearwater, Minnesota, and owner of Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. We believe the tastiest, most nutritious beef comes from cattle that are regeneratively grazed for their lifetime. Never confined to a feedlot, never fed GMO plants or grains, and not exposed to chemical pesticides like glyphosate. Please find our grass-fed beef at Coburn's and your local food co-op. Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed, nourishing soil, plants, cattle, and people by holistically grazing cattle for their lifetime.
Tied at 10, 6:30 left to go here in the opening quarter of play. If the Wolves are going to save off elimination, they're going to need Carl Anthony Towns to get going. I'm watching Kyle Anderson warm up as he's about to check into the game. Cat, in this series, is averaging just 15 points on 29% shooting and 3 of 22 from deep. You go back 5 games now, Cat's 4 for his last 22 from beyond the arc.
I'm confident. I know I put the work in, so I'm confident to go out there, shoot the ball, and the plan, as always, is to see it go through the net. I think it's a bad time to have a shooting slump, for sure, from 3, but it is what it is. You know, we're in this situation now, and we're going to find ourselves, so we're going to fight ourselves to get out of it.
Well, Cat hasn't taken a 3 yet, Jim Peterson, but he's gotten one shot inside towards the rim, right at the restricted area. Good sign. He's 1 for 1.
Yeah, well, and I don't know what he was talking about when he said he was getting 1,500 threes or 3-point shots up, when he was talking about getting shots up. I'm not, Carl, I'm not sure the math is right. You know, it's kind of like when someone exaggerates, you know, like when they say, hey, I called the guy 100 times. You might have called him 7 times, but maybe he's getting 300 up. But he definitely does do the work, Alan. He does get the work in. He's got to make shots here in this game.
I don't know what he was thinking, like, after the game when he said that. You're right. But today I thought he was very straightforward, and he was very honest about how he is struggling, but he's confident that he can come back from it. Here's Anthony Edwards, baseline left. The pull-up jumper from 15 is good. Ant rattles it in, and the Wolves go up 12-10. Edwards, 2 of 3 shooting. He's got 6 points and a couple of rebounds. Kyrie up the center of the floor. Dwight Powell's into the game for Gafford. Josh Green also out there. Now to the right side, his pass picked off. Mike Conley with it. Races up into the front court. Left of the lane, off to Rudy. Steps through, drives in, and scores it for 2.
Well, Dwight Powell on the perimeter is looking to dribble handoff. He is not looking to shoot the basketball. Once he picked up his dribble, Rudy pressured him, which helped Mike get the steal.
Luka into the paint on Rudy. He got it knocked away. Luka gets it back. Banging away with Ant. Left side, fall away jumper from 17. That's no good, and Rudy Gobert clears the rebound.
Minnesota getting some stops here early on.
Mike Conley with the ball. Off the Rudy screen. He'll pop up top. Off to the roll man Rudy in the lane. Drops it off for Cat. Unorthodox, but it works. So lay in for Carl.
I mean, that's like a football play right there. The Rudy was on the roll. Cat was cutting behind him, and somehow he hands it off to him like a quarterback to a running back, and he scores. Unreal.
6-0 Timberwolves run. Josh Green baseline drive to the opposite corner. P.J. Washington misses on the 3. Rudy had the rebound. Got knocked by Powell. Fortunately, Rudy was still able to get it off to Ant. Here come the Wolves on the push. Up 16-10. Left elbow. Ant left-handed dribble. Sees 2 defenders. Still pounds the dribble. Moves a little bit further away for the paint. Now spins to the baseline. Runs into that double. Lobs it back out to Conley. Towns up top. 7 to shoot. He'll turn face up on Luka, tries to take him off the dribble, floats it up, and it was a pass to Rudy. His layup, no, but a whistle and a foul. I thought Cat would shoot that one. He was only about 5 feet out when he let it go, but it was a pass to Rudy, and Rudy draws contact, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Well, Rudy's been excellent here early, hasn't he? I mean, he's been able to get on the scoring column here. He's defensively, he's been rebounding the basketball at a high rate. He's been contesting at the rim, driving field goal percentage down.
2 points, 4 rebounds for Rudy Gobert. At the free throw line, misses the first. Rudy at the stripe in this series, 9 of 14 heading into tonight. So now 9 of 15. Cat will take a seat here. Mike Conley's out. And the Wolves get Naz Reed and Kyle Anderson in. Normally when Mike Conley goes out, that's Nickeil Alexander-Walker coming into the game. But Kyle's going to be the first substitution. Now the Mavericks only have 2 players on the lane. And Rudy hits the free throw. If there was ever a time to maybe miss a free throw, you would have a 3-on-2 advantage going for the rebound.
Right.
Timberwolves 7-0 run here over the last 141. Dallas has missed 4 straight shots. Left of the lane, Luka. That's a tough leaner. He doesn't hit that shot. It's long, and Naz Reed the rebound. Chest pass up ahead, Kyle Anderson. Kyle surveys the scene, dumps it in for Rudy. Kick out, Jaden in the corner. 3 ball on the way, no good. He missed it long. Rebound knocked around, finally scooped up by Luka Doncic. And then Rudy just coming up the floor, crashes right into Luka, knocks him down. Foul. First on Rudy, and just you can't have those kind of fouls. Those things add up. They cost you later.
Yeah, Luka put the brakes on. He was under duress. He was being pressured and had his dribble being poked at. Rudy was coming, trying to run back on defense when Luka stopped. So it's partly his fault, but not really.
17-10. Wolves are still on a 7-0 run here. There's Hardy getting right to the rim. Oh, he blew the layup. Point blank. Gafford was screening off Rudy inside. Timberwolves come away with a rebound. Here's hand on the push right side against P.J. Washington. Crosses him up, pulls up, and sticks the jumper. Anthony Edwards and the Wolves will not go quietly here in Game 4. They're on a 10-0 run. They lead by 10, 20-10. That's a lot of 10s. Wolves are 8 of 11 shooting. Dallas has missed 6 straight shots. P.J. Washington in the paint. Rejected by Rudy Gobert. He got up with the left hand and knocked it away and controlled it. Now Ant on the push. Crossing midcourt off a Kyle Anderson screen. Nothing develops off that. 15 to shoot. Rudy sets the screen. Ant on the attack. In the paint. Floats it up. Missed it long, but the rebound comes right to Rudy through his hands. Off to Ant. His floater in the paint. No good. Luka the rebound. Outlet midcourt. It's Hardy. Hardy on the right side of the floor. Now in his second year out of the G League Ignite. He's been good in this series. Tries to move on Kyle. Ball poke free. Hardy backtracks, scoops it up, now drives again, runs it up down the lane, off the back iron, no. And Naz Reed the rebound. Naz on the run, down the lane, keeps it himself, the layup, no. And Luka Doncic has the rebound. Here come the Mavericks back the other way. Dallas has missed 8 straight shots. Luka bumped on the perimeter, fires up the shot wildly. And now Luka and Kyle go chest to chest. Ed Malloy, the cooler head, steps in between the two. The Wolves pop up off their bench. There's a timeout with 3:30 left to play in this opening quarter. Timberwolves still on a 10-0 run. They're up 20-10 here in Game 4 with 3 minutes to go in the opening frame on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Bring the fun to family time with a visit to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Start by making a splash and memories at the lagoon. Our indoor water park includes a lazy river, an activity pool, and more exciting features. Then hit the lanes at Island Extreme Bowl for some family-friendly competition before you head to our luxurious hotel for a relaxing night away. Book your stay now at ticasino.com. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination fun.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park for some tug-of-war. Or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
And Toyota brings us this scoreboard update. Visit your local Toyota dealers or head to Toyota.com today. Let's go places. Well, we go to the Eastern Conference Finals matchup, and we know who will be representing the East in the NBA Finals next week. It's the Boston Celtics, a clean 4-game sweep of the Pacers thanks to last night's 105-102 victory in Indy. Pacers had a 9-point lead with just under 9 to play in this ballgame before Boston ripped off a 20-8 run, capped off by this defense-to-offense sequence.
Nembhard gets a running start. Right-hand dribble, past Jalen, scoops it up, blocked by Jalen Brown. He stayed with Nembhard and blocked the shot, spiking it into the ground. Now the Celtics get their turn as we go into minute 48 of Game 4. A chance for the Celtics to win the Eastern Conference Championship on the road as they did 2 years ago. Jalen stops on a dime, dribbles to the middle of the floor, jump pass into the corner. Derek White for three. Got it! Derek White from the right corner has given Boston a 105-102 lead.
So Jaylen Brown with the block and the assist in that sequence. He finished with 29 points, 6 rebounds, a couple assists, and 3 steals. He was named Eastern Conference Finals MVP as he and the Celtics now will await the winner of this Wolves-Mavs series. And for Wolves fans' sake, we hope they're waiting quite a while as we get back down to Dallas and Alan and Jim.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. 20-10, the Wolves are doubling up the Mavs here early on. They've held the Mavs to 4 of 17 shooting from the field. After the Game 3 win, Kyrie Irving wanted nothing to do with hearing about a 3-0 advantage and how the Mavericks had this thing all wrapped up.
It means absolutely nothing right now. That's not even something I'm thinking about. Going into Game 4, it's still 0-0. And that's the type of motivation and mentality we have in that locker room. It's not just me. We feel like the job isn't finished and we're going against one of the greatest teams in the world. They still have the capability of beating us on any given night, and we have to treat them like that.
Kyrie calling the Wolves the greatest team in the world. Is that what he said? I mean, I like the attitude. And a lot of the Mavericks said the same thing. They don't want to think about that. But they saw what happened in Indiana last night. And that Boston has wrapped their end of it up. And boy, I feel like Dallas and Boston are on the same page. They've played these close games, and both the Celtics and Mavs have dominated in clutch time.
I feel like they also saw Minnesota come back after Denver had won 3 straight on them. Minnesota wins the first 2 games of the last series. Denver wins 3 straight, and it looks like they're going to eliminate Minnesota. Minnesota wins game 6 and 7, and Denver could not kill them. So I'm sure Denver wants to get the job done tonight. Minnesota has different ideas.
Free throws up and in for Luka Doncic. He's got 2. He got fouled by Kyle Anderson before the timeout. And Luka will have another one coming here. The first points in the last 4.5 minutes for Dallas. Second free throw is good. It's 20-12.
Luka Doncic has 10 of Dallas's 12 points right now.
Anthony Edwards has 9 of the Wolves' 20 points. Much more balance from Minnesota. Here's Naz swinging it up top to Karl Anthony Towns. Kyle in the corner and a dribble handoff. It's Ant splitting 2 defenders, rising up, double clutching shot. No on the reverse lay-in. But he got fouled. He's going back to the free throw line. This will already be Ant's 5th and 6th free throw attempts of the game.
Yeah. So we saw Daniel Gafford start the game for Dallas. Then we saw Dwight Powell come in for Gafford. And now Maxi Kleber has made his appearance here. And that's who Ant kind of sifted in between right there. A couple defenders to get to the rim. And good to see Maxi Kleber back. He's been so banged up, Alan, over the past few years for the Dallas Mavericks. In and out of the lineup. Excellent shooter and player for this team for a lot of years.
Yeah, brings a lot of size. He's not known for his defense, however.
No, he's not.
And 2 free throws by Ant puts him up to 11 points. Kyle Anderson got picked off by a Kleber screen. Kleber missed the whole Oklahoma City series with a shoulder injury. He's now back. Luka with it up top against Kyle Anderson. Kyle's done pretty well against Luka. Tough fall away here off the back iron. No. In fact, great job by Kyle Anderson. KA had held Luka to 3 of 8 shooting when he was the primary defender. Now 3 of 9. Floater at the elbow for Anthony Edwards. 2 more for Ant. 14-2, Timberwolves run.
Naz Reed's done a nice job here coming in to rebound the basketball, too. He's got 3 of them, but they've all ignited fast breaks for Minnesota.
When Nikhil and Hardy collide, they both go down. The officials say play on. I like that non-call. Here's Cat reaching in on Luka at the midcourt stripe with 8 on the shot clock. Hard to imagine that not coming back to hurt Cat at some point in this game. Rudy, I think Rudy can afford to have maybe a casual foul that he can live with, but Cat can't. And Luka's not going anywhere at midcourt. In fact, he was looking to pass when Cat reached in there.
Right.
Kleber with it off to Kyrie Irving, right side. He'll spin off the Kleber screen, gets into the paint, drops it back out. Here's Jaden Hardy firing an angle 3 and he drains it. Jaden Hardy, not huge volume on threes, but he's 3 of 5 now in the series.
He's not done a lot of damage, but it seems like when he lets it fly, it's always got a chance to go in.
Here's Cat on the run, just powers into Kleber, and an offensive foul is called. An offensive foul. Kleber set himself. Cat ran right into him, and there's his second.
Yeah, but Kleba, there's contact, but he backs up. It's not like he took a charge. That's a ridiculous call by Bill Kennedy.
They inbounded the ball quickly. The Wolves didn't have a chance to challenge. Josh Reed, corner three. That wasn't even close.
It's ridiculous.
We told you Kleba's not a good defender. His feet were shuffling all over the place. That's a horrendous call. 24-18. Here's Naz on the move down the lane. Runs it up off glass and got it for two.
It's a big play because, as you said, it's Carl's second foul now. He picks up the silly first one, the horrible call in the second one.
And it led to a Josh Green three. And now a whistle and an offensive foul against the Mavericks. Scott Foster makes this one. And the Wolves will bring it up here. They've got Kyle Anderson, Anthony Edwards, Naz Reed, Karl Anthony Towns, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Yeah, Kleba just moves out of the way there. Or into the way of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. But that was an awful call on the charge by Towns. And that's exactly why you can't pick up that cheap first one. 2 fouls in 21 seconds for Towns. And with it up top. Horn set. He'll work to the right side off the Naz screen. Switch on to Josh Green. Takes him off the dribble. And a quick hand check. Good call. Bill Kennedy. So Dallas, they do hand check an awful lot. I don't feel like they've been called for a ton of it. But you're not allowed to impede a perimeter player when he's trying to dribble by you. And you just kind of jump in there and try to blow it up. And I feel like that whistle is a little bit tighter here in Game 4.
I feel like we've talked about, though, when it's happened, when they put two hands on perimeter offensive players for Minnesota.
Yes, automatic foul.
I feel like as Jake McDaniels checks in for Karl Anthony Towns with 33.6 left on the clock. Anthony Edwards has his second free throw here coming up.
It's 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. The rebound, Kleba and Reed battling for it. It's off Naz out of bounds.
Anthony Edwards, 5 of 8 from the free throw line right now.
We love the attempts.
Exactly right.
But 5 of 8. Kyrie Irving steps into a left angle three. It comes up short. The rebound tapped out. The Wolves able to save it. Nickeil out of bounds into his own bench. Right to Anthony Edwards.
Shot time for Minnesota.
27-18. The Wolves lead by 9. End of first quarter here. Shot clock is dark. 10 seconds to go in the frame. Neither team with a foul to give. Here's hand against Kyrie Irving. Beats him off the dribble into the paint. Hesitates. Cross-court pass picked off. Josh Green's got it. 3 seconds left. Now with 2. He'll take a run into the paint, and he draws a foul with 0.2 of a second left to go in the quarter. That is absolutely criminal at the end of the quarter. The Wolves' end-of-quarter execution has been horrendous all postseason.
I just have no idea what was going through Ant's mind, why he would try to throw through a defender to Jaden in the corner when he had the mid-range jump shot, which he's so comfortable taking. It was right there at the doorstep.
So many times the Wolves have had the last shot and somehow given the other team the opportunity. Josh Green says, thank you very much. Free throw good, 8-point game. These are the kind of small mistakes that add up to you being down 3 games to none.
Exactly right.
Dallas isn't making those mistakes. Boston isn't making those mistakes. You want to be in the NBA Finals, you've got to be on point. 2 free throws good. Inbound comes to Jaden. He has no chance to heave it from 4/5 of the way across the floor. 27-20. Wolves are still up 7 here, but it feels like it should be more. 12 minutes up on the scoreboard. We're back with the second quarter next all across the Timberwolves radio network.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel. Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Get the champagne ready. The NBA Finals are here.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Let's raise our glasses and our rings to the 2 phenomenal teams left standing. Here's the high-stakes action to thrilling moments we can't miss.
He ties the game at the buzzer.
It's a crowning our next champion. Here's a toast to the NBA Finals. The 2024 NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV, begin Thursday, June 6th on ABC.
We are professionals. We are family and friends. We are volunteers. We are community partners. We are a team dedicated to helping you succeed. We help protect and serve America's businesses. When you need us, we're here to help. At Federated Mutual Insurance Company, it's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
When it comes to watching the game, it's always nice to sit and savor a delicious snack. And Jack Link's protein snacks always hits the shop. Jack Link's beef jerky is made with 100% beef that's simply seasoned and hardwood smoked to deliver a mouth-watering, flavorful, good source of protein, convenient snack. Jack Link's, the official protein snack of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Timberwolves off to a good start in Game 4. They lead the Mavericks 27-20. They're shooting 63% that opening quarter. They held the Mavericks to just 29% from the field. Before we go any further and get underway in the second, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification all across the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Timberwolves Fan Line with Parker and Max, presented by American Building Contractors, follows the game on FM 100.3 KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
Along with studio host and executive producer Cal Soderquist, I'm Alan Horton, joined by Jim Peterson. All third round, actually second and third round. Wow. This is now into the second round for us together. Right. Our engineer is Kern Brular. Our statistician is Dave Handelin. Our studio coordinators Alex Leibolt and Ben Haney. Glad you're along with us on our flagship 100.3 FM, KFAN, The Fan, iHeartRadio app, Timberwolves mobile app, SiriusXM satellite radio, and all across the vast and ever-expanding Timberwolves Radio Network. And if you've got the devices available, turn down that volume on the TV on TNT and crank up Wolves Radio. Get those two things synced up with a lot of different devices, whether you're streaming the game on TV or with a couple of audio options. You can pause both of those and get them synced up, and then you got you and me with the TV.
Exactly right.
It's beautiful.
You don't have to hear all the trash that's on TNT right now.
Holy moly.
I mean, what is ESPN and TNT thinking, bringing Chris Paul and Draymond Green onto their broadcast?
At least Chris Paul is adding something of value and not ripping players. I guess that puts him ahead of Draymond, but that's a low bar to set. Nikhil left angle three. No, but an offensive rebound. Kyle Anderson back out to Mike Conley, and the right angle triple drops in. 30-20, the Wolves are back up 10. They had a 12-point lead in that opening quarter.
How great has Minnesota Mike been in the playoffs here shooting the basketball?
Ever since Game 1, he's been tremendous. Got off to a rough start in Game 1, but he's really played well the last two games. Here's Kyrie Irving, left side, hounded by Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Big screen set by Washington. Kyrie lost the dribble against Naz. Gives it off to PJ, right back to Kyrie to the right side. Josh Green catch and shoot three. Missed it long, and the Timberwolves have the rebound. Dallas, just 6 of 22 shooting. That's 27%. 4 of 11. Here's Kyle Anderson, top of the key. Out to Naz, right side. He'll dribble drive right to the cup. He missed the layup. There was a contest there by P.J. Washington. Daniel Gafford's back in at the center spot. Here is Kyrie in the paint. Runs it up over Rudy. The floater drops in. That's with the left hand. That's over the outstretched arm of the four-time Defensive Player of the Year. That's an incredible shot-making display by Kyrie.
He works on that all the time, though. Talking with some of their assistant coaches, all those lefty finishes that he has, he works on them all the time.
So you're saying there's a reason why he shoots 56% this series on his non-rim twos. Wolves turned it over. It is the 6th miscue of the game. Dante Exum is into the game. Falling out of bounds. Oh, they're going to call a foul on Mike Conley.
Yeah, it's been one of the things that Minnesota's been able to do in this series, and that's not turning over in huge bunches. I mean, they've only had 29 turnovers in 3 games, so less than 10 a game. Just barely.
Yeah, Wolves.
Because they had two games of 10. Games 1 and 3, they had 10 turnovers. And then in game 2, they had 9. So
the Mavericks have done a much better job of turning those turnovers into points than the Wolves have. Because Dallas has averaged about 12 turnovers. The Wolves are only getting 9 points a game off of those. Dante Exum at the shot clock buzzer fades and fires in the lane. The 7-footer is banked in for 2. Those are the first 2 points of the series for Dante Exum. And now in the front court, we've got a whistle and an offensive foul. Naz Reed, an illegal screen. Oh, they got Rudy, not Naz. And that's number 2 on Rudy Gobert.
Rudy was trying to discard Daniel Gafford as he was trying to run the rim that time. Dante Exum with the crazy shot in the painted area. I feel like Minnesota, they missed an opportunity, obviously. When they shoot sub 29%, the Mavericks do in the first quarter, Minnesota really did not do a great job of getting separation by shooting 62.5%.
It's now a 6-point game, and Exum will try a right corner three and bury it. And Jason Kidd's got to be really happy because Luka Doncic is on the bench here. And anytime you get someone other than Kyrie and Luka scoring, it's just like this added boost for this Mavericks team. It's a 7-0 Dallas run. The Wolves have called a timeout here early in the second quarter. Minnesota's up by 3, 30-27 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
Your lucky jersey, your pack, your hometown team. It's Superfan season in Minneapolis downtown, so don't miss out on a minute of fun, friends, and nonstop excitement. From pregame meetups to postgame celebrations, be there for your favorite teams and the big wins. In Minneapolis, we play for the love of the game, and you're the best part of our story. Visit MPLSdowntown.com to get your game on. See you downtown.
Is it possible to predict the unpredictable? Could surgeons use a patient's own anatomy to create 3D printed life-size organ models to map out challenges ahead of time, making surgery more precise, efficient, and less invasive? Is it possible? It already is, because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Timberwolves are shooting 58%, but they only lead by 3. 9:43 left to go here in the second quarter of play. Luka Doncic is a minus 12 in his 10.5 minutes on the floor, but Mavericks have maybe they'll make some money during the time that Luka's on the bench with Kyrie only on the floor. The Mavericks are a +9. Here's Luka after the Game 3 win when he was told that teams that go up 3-0 are 155-0 all time.
Don't even say it, man. But it feels great. But we got to think about next game. Got to play with the same mentality. They're not going to go away. No way. So we need to prepare for the next game. We just got to think about next game.
I'll tell Luka as many times as he doesn't want to hear. Well, Indiana's win last night, I thought it was 153 heading into the Indy game. There must have been a missed game in there somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But the reason why the Mavericks are within 3 is that they've been winning these minutes that Luka's on the bench, and they've gotten 5 points from Dante Exum and 5 points from Josh Green and 3 from Jaden Hardy.
That's right.
It's like found money.
Minnesota is missing free throws. You can't miss free throws and turn it over at the clip that they've been turning it over. I mean, you did a great job of holding their field goal percentage down, but you did not have a killer instinct in that first quarter.
Here's Kyle Anderson out of the timeout, goes inside, gets his shot blocked by Daniel Gafford, who just picked up his 9th block in the last 3 games. It's loose on the floor, whistle sound, and there'll be a jump ball.
Rudy is just not willing to go onto the floor and to pick up the basketball. He is trying to weave it around his feet as the ball is just being rolled on the ground, and Dallas, finally somebody gets on the floor. Man, multiple players from Dallas. And who was it from Minnesota? Was it Anthony Edwards that dove on the floor and got the basketball?
Might have been Towns. No, it's going to be Ant. You're right. You know, kind of an underrated... Dallas now has 21... Well, heading into tonight, had outblocked the Wolves 20-12 in this series. Daniel Gafford's had 8 in the last 2 games. And the Wolves only had their shot blocked 4.5 times a game in the regular season. That was 5th lowest.
Right.
But they're getting their shot blocked a ton here in this series. Anthony Edwards will jump it up, and it will be Josh Green he's jumping up against. He likes to extend his arm into the other team's or the opponent's space. Ball's batted around, and finally Dallas controls. 30-27, Timberwolves by 3, 9:20 left to go in the second quarter of play.
There's an art to winning jump balls that Ant has kind of escaped Ant at this juncture of his career.
Drive by P.J. Washington, his layup no, but contact, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
And there's a way to position your body, and what he's doing is actually taking away his ability to jump fully in those jump ball circles, Alan. The way he's extending his arm up like that, it's not something you want to do when you're trying to win a jump ball.
P.J. Washington at the free throw line for the first time tonight. Dallas is 4 for 4 at the line. Make it 5 for 5. The Wolves are 6 of 10. You talked about missing free throws. 4 of them. 3 of them courtesy of Anthony Edwards. Yeah. So P.J. Washington back to the free throw line. This is his first trip to the postseason. Now in his 5th year. That's what happens when you spend time in Charlotte. You don't end up in the postseason. PJ in this series, 13 points, 7 rebounds, and a block. Dallas stays perfect at the line. They're 6 for 6. Conley gets free left side, drives in, floats it up, and hits it. Soft touch off the glass, hit the front rim, and dropped in. 32-29. The Wolves still lead by 3. They were up by as many as a dozen towards the end of the first quarter. Josh Green with it. Nope, it's Dante Exum. Off an illegal Kyrie Irving screen. Ed Malloy and Scott Foster both made the call simultaneously. And so Kyrie will pick up a rare foul.
Well, nice rest for Luka Doncic. He missed the last minute 40, basically 38 of the first quarter, and then got 3 minutes here. So that's a pretty good blow for him.
Here's Conley left side, up top to Towns. Got a nice screen from Gobert, drives in, got his shot blocked by Gafford. He's got another one, then Gafford falls on Towns across the baseline. Luka left side, PJ to the corner, and Exum right back to Washington, who drives and kicks out to Luka Doncic. Cat now isolated against Doncic, left angle, fakes right, comes left, around him, into the paint. Tough, fall away, nope, he dished it out last second. PJ Washington on a drive, in the paint, out to Dante Exum. He's going to fire a 3, miss it short. Pretty good scrambling defense by the Timberwolves on that possession. Up by 3 and with possession. And off the Rudy screen. He's going to pop on a left angle 3. And he got it again. Anthony Edwards with his second 3 of the game. Just his second. Game 3 hit 0 threes. Only the second time in 25 postseason games in his career that he's not hit a 3.
He's showing up tonight. He's got 17 in the game for Minnesota.
Kyrie with it out to Doncic up top. He gets away from Ant in the paint, rises and kicks to the corner to Irving, who moves it to the angle. Here's Exum with drive. Back to Doncic. Bounce pass to the corner. P.J. Washington, the 3 ball. Off the heel, no. Mike Conley's got his second straight defensive rebound.
That's P.J. Washington's corner, too. That left corner. He loves spotting up out there.
P.J. has knocked down 4 of 8 from the corners, but he's been 0 of 10 on his above-the-break threes in this series. Jaden baseline drive, draws some contact. 7:34 left to go in the second quarter. I don't think they're going to send Jaden to the free throw line. He'll be sidelined out of bounds for Minnesota. Maxi Kleba back in. Daniel Gafford will sit.
It's been interesting to watch Chris Finch these last few games. He is feeling better, and he's using his crutches less. He's getting out on the floor during these timeout situations, drawing up action.
He's been moving around, yeah. It's the next step in recovery, right? You got to get that. You've got to actually use the leg. Get that movement going, get the blood flowing. Whistle stops play. And I think Bill Kennedy's got a 3-second call against Dallas.
Yeah, against Luka Doncic.
So the Timberwolves are up by 6 here, 35-29. Dallas, 33% shooting. The Wolves still at 57%, but the Wolves have had 7 turnovers. Cat will go to the free throw line. Got it. Cat in this series now 13 of 15 at the free throw line. That's one place his stroke has been money.
Yes.
Conley will trigger in opposite the Dallas bench. Minnesota on a 6-0 run here. Hand off to Anthony Edwards up top. He'll work off the Gobert screen. Gobert rolls. Nobody's really on him. And can't get it to him. Now Cat with it. Cat will dump it inside. Here's Rudy, mid-post, bangs away with Kleba and a shot clock violation.
I just don't get what Minnesota's doing when it comes to throwing Rudy the basketball. Like on the roll when Ant had it in pick-and-roll game, Rudy was open on the roll that time. It could have just laid it up in rhythm, but that time the seal in the middle of the paint, Cat dumps it down to Rudy. It's just not a good percentage play.
Luka will fire on a three. That's off the back iron. Rebound tapped out by Derrick Jones Jr. Doncic now fires again. He doesn't miss it twice in a row. 4-point game, 36-32. Jaden up into the front court. Moves quickly to Rudy. Across the lane. Lobs it back out. Conley now with it. Off the Rudy screen. He'll work to the left side of the floor. Along the baseline. Back to Rudy. A little closer to the rim there. And his shot, no, but contact. And Rudy will go to the free throw line for two. Mike got it to him in a much better spot than Cat did the prior possession.
No, that foul's going to be on Maxi Kleba, who really hits Rudy pretty hard as he's rolling to the rim that time and trying to put that up.
But it's that prior possession is that you just can't have possessions where you don't get a shot off in 24 seconds. Like Dallas isn't doing that. Boston isn't doing that. The Wolves have not played, I feel like, at an NBA Finals level. They just haven't been consistent enough, not as sharp.
Rudy Gobert is one of the greatest rollers in NBA history. He's put so much pressure on the rim in his NBA career. And for some reason, Minnesota's not able to exploit Dallas in that regard. And that's what I was saying, that last ball screen by Anthony Edwards. I mean, Rudy came off, was open on the roll. Ant didn't throw it to him. And then finally Carl does, but it's not the kind of rhythm shot that he needs to be shooting.
Yep. And the Wolves need to be firing on plays like that to get to the NBA Finals.
They've got to get easy baskets. It can't be a drudge every time you come down the floor.
Rudy hits 2 free throws to put the Wolves up by 6. Maxi Kleba on a handoff to Luka Doncic, working against Anthony Edwards. Comes into the paint, bumped, puts up the shot, no good. Luka goes over the back of Ant, and the putback would not drop.
He didn't deserve that.
No, he didn't.
He went over Ant's back that time. He got that rebound.
38-32. Here comes Ant in the front court. Sizing up Kleba, rises up for the 3-ball. Short Conley, the offensive rebound. Nobody home protecting the rim as Kleba was out in the perimeter. And Mike had his easiest shot of the series. 10-3, Wolves run to lead by 8. Here's P.J. Washington, wing right. He'll swing it far side. Doncic moves it to Kleba, looks unsure, now drives in, gets to the cup and lays it in for 2. 40-34, it's a 6-point Wolves lead.
How great has Dallas attacked Minnesota's closeouts? Anytime they get into rotation and close out to a perimeter player, that person's putting the ball on the deck and putting pressure on the rim.
Here's Conley, drives on P.J. Washington. Oh, softly floats it in with a left hand off the glass. Going so fast to be able to check up. I mean, that's Kyrie Irving-esque, using that body control and the soft touch. 90% of guards are just clanging that thing off the backboard. It's never hitting the rim. Here's Doncic up top with the Wolves up by 8. Kyrie Irving with it off a Derrick Jones Jr. screen that gets blown up by Jaden McDaniels. Baseline, Kyrie puts up the shot and scores. Boy, I thought they had Kyrie bottled up, but Conley kind of drifted away from that double team, and that gave Kyrie just enough of space to take advantage. He ends up at the free throw line for 2. Injury report tonight brought to you by Mayo Clinic, your source for medical answers. We mentioned that Maxi Kleba is back off the shoulder injury. Derek Lively II is out, which what we thought at the time would be concussion-like symptoms, but they technically say neck sprain.
Right.
I'm going to add a slash, concussion-like symptoms.
Right.
I mean, come on. He took a knee to the back of the head. He was holding the back of his head the whole time.
That shot by Kyrie Irving, by the way, sailed over the top of the rim, so it's 2 free throws for Kyrie Irving as Josh Green comes back into the game for P.J. Washington.
Kyrie makes the Mavericks 7 for 7 at the free throw line. Wolves won the battle in the paint in Game 3. First time in the series they've done that. First time they've had the edge at the rim as well. And already a 20-8 advantage in the paint here in Game 3. And that's something they have to take advantage of, especially with Derek Lively out.
Exactly right.
With Gafford, with Powell, with Kleba, the Wolves should have the advantage there. Free throws, Mavs stay perfect. 8 for 8. Here's Jaden. Dribbling onto the perimeter, out to the perimeter. Now Conley with it right side and at the hash mark. Conley slips the screen, sets up in the corner and around his back, pulls up on the mid-range jumper. It's off the back iron, no, and Kleba secures the rebound. Dallas down 6 with possession, under 5 minutes to go before halftime. Luka, nobody picked him up until late. He goes right in the paint on Ant, and then last second kicks out. Derrick Jones Jr., 3-ball, yes.
How about that? Luka was right at the doorstep, too. I'm surprised he threw that out, but ended up being a good play for the Mavs.
Derek Jones Jr. now 4 for 7 in the series on his corner threes. He brings the Mavs to within 3. Ant backs it out with Josh Green on him. Now attacks him into the paint. Hangs and kicks out. Naz an angle 3 on its way. It comes up short. Cat goes over the back of Derek Jones Jr. That's his third. He's done for the half. And Cat in foul difficulty has happened again.
You know what? I think it's one of those situations where you don't let him touch the basketball or you don't run any offense through him, and he's not getting shots up. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns in this game has 3 shot attempts. He's 2 of 3, and that's what happens. He's trying to make a play, trying to offensive rebound the basketball on the Naz Reed miss, and he draws another foul.
There's literally a defender right in front of him. He's going over the back of that defender to try, and you can't do that. When you have 2 fouls, there has to be some kind of recognition. And a corner 3 for Derek Jones Jr. again, his second straight. And all of a sudden, the Wolves' 12-point lead has disappeared. We're tied at 42. 8-0 Dallas run. Here's Conley into the right side and Rudy. Right back to Mike with a right-handed dribble. A whistle stops play. And a foul is going to be called against the Mavericks. P.J. Washington picks up the foul. Kyrie comes back into the game. And Josh Green is going to sit down.
So Anthony Edwards in the first quarter had 14 points in the quarter. He's got 3 here in the second. And I just think that you're going to frustrate Towns if you don't get him shot attempts, especially when his team is struggling to score.
Anthony Edwards with it up top. Double. They'll give it off to Naz, who takes a run into the paint. Back to the corner. Jaden locks and loads on the 3 ball. It's well short. Naz goes over the back of P.J. Washington and taps it out to Anthony Edwards. Ant in the lane runs it up. That's short. He got hit on the arm. That's why it came up short. No call. Luka Doncic back the other way, and Ant reaches in. You could see that foul coming a mile away. Is that number 3 on Anthony Edwards?
Yes, it is.
I know you're frustrated at the offensive end, but you could see Ant looking to foul Doncic coming up the floor. I mean, that came from a mile away. The Wolves are not playing smartly. Towns with 3, Edwards with 3, and Rudy Gobert with 2. And Luka at the free throw line. And Dallas has a chance to take the lead despite shooting 38% here in this first half, with the Wolves shooting 50%.
Mavericks have also knocked down 8 3-point shots in the game to 3 for just Minnesota. So 8 of 18 for Dallas.
Yeah. Plus 15 at the 3-point line. So Ant is out. Cat is out. Mike Conley is out. The Wolves will go with a lineup of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson, Naz Reed, and Rudy Gobert. Dallas a 10-0 run to lead by 2. 44-42 with 3:30 left to go in the first half. Let's see what this lineup will do. Naz comes running off a screen up top. Nothing develops off to Jaden McDaniels. Jaden crossing over on Derek Jones Jr. Drives into the paint. One-footed fall away left of the lane. That ricochets to the right. Difficult shot for Jaden. He's 1 of 4 from the field. Here's Dallas back the other way. Tough shot in the lane for Derek Jones Jr. No, but more contact and more free throws coming for the Mavericks. 11 and 12. That's how many free throws the Mavs have attempted here in the first half. They haven't missed. The Wolves are 9 of 13 at the stripe.
Looked like Derek Jones might have rolled his ankle a little bit as he went up for that layup.
So Derek Jones Jr. to the free throw line for the first time tonight. 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Short on the free throw attempt. First miss of the night for Dallas. Timberwolves basketball here in the first half, brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves. And by Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Book your stay now at TICasino.com. Treasure Island, the exclusive casino partner of the Timberwolves. Timberwolves in their association whites here tonight. They've only won 2 uniforms the entire postseason. They're 4-2 in the classics, and they're 4-4 in the association whites. 1 out of 2 for Derek Jones Jr. 3-point Dallas lead with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Kyle Anderson brings it up into the front court. Here's Naz on the move to the top of the key. Now to the corner, Nikhil. Catch and shoot three opportunity that drops in for Nikhil Alexander-Walker. He had been 1 for his last 16 before dropping that one in. Wolves need some production from that three-point line. Here's Doncic with it for Dallas. Against Kyle Anderson, left side of the floor. Shoves off, runs into Rudy, and there's the third on Rudy Gobert. Cool. Towns, Ant, and Rudy all with 3. They're all done for the half. And the Wolves are just going to try to survive the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Jay McDaniels has 2 as well, so he's nice. right on the doorstep.
He's on pace. Yeah. 2:40 left to go second quarter. Tied at 45 in Game 4 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Keep the fun close to home with Treasure Island's 2-night staycation hotel package. Start your stay by playing your way through our newest slots with $50 free slot play. Go beyond the gaming floor and experience more of the island with a $75 gift card to our restaurants, bars, gift shop, and more. When it's time to unwind, make your way to our luxurious hotel for 2 relaxing nights away. Book your stay now at TICasino.com. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination fun.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
All right, nearly at halftime of this evening's Game 4 from Dallas. We had a Game 4 yesterday evening as well. It took place in Indy as the Celtics were chasing after a clean sweep of the Eastern Conference Finals. They did just that, a 105-102 win. Pacers led by 9 with just under 9 to play in this ball game. Celtics come roaring back, a 20-8 run. Jaylen Brown making plays on both ends of the floor. He ends up receiving Eastern Conference Finals MVP honors after 29 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists in the closeout game victory. He had 10 points in the decisive fourth quarter, 19 in the second half in total. He spoke about his aggressive offensive mentality.
Yeah, I was playing like trash in the first half. The pace was really getting to me. I feel like I was a step behind. And then I just needed to be a little more patient in the second half and let the game kind of come to me a little bit more. And I did that. I was just trying to get to the basket and use my physicality, but you know, if the game tells you to shoot a jump shot, you got to shoot a jump shot. And so in the second half, I think I made 3 threes, let the jumper fly a little bit more, and that opened some stuff up for me. So sometimes, you know, you just got to be flexible, you got to be versatile, and just the game will tell you what you need to do.
Yeah, he averaged nearly 30 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals in the 4 Celtics victories. They now advance to the NBA Finals for the second time in their last 3 years. See if they can get over the hump this time around. This update brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Let's go places. We go back to Dallas and Alan Horton.
Tied at 45, 2:40 left to go first half. Mike Conley on the after the Wolves film session yesterday. Met with the media at the team hotel. He was asked about what it's going to take to turn things around.
It stays in the belief department right now, just mentally. Believing that, you know, it's one game, just one game, get one, bring it back to Minnesota, give ourselves a chance in this series, and we're more than capable of doing that. Just don't let go of the rope, stay confident, and worried about our adjustments and what we can accomplish in Game 4 here, and that's every guy from 1 through 15 got to be ready to play. Who knows what adjustments we'll make, but you can imagine we'll throw everything we have at this game. So, it's win or go home for us, so we got to be locked in on that.
So Mike Conley says don't let go of the rope. I feel like the Wolves have let go of the rope with Towns with 3 fouls, Gobert with 3, Ant with 3, Jaden with 2.
I think the foul by Anthony Edwards that took him out the floor, it speaks volumes of not being locked in. It goes back to even to Game 3 when Anthony Edwards lost control and lost focus. And P.J. Washington hit that 3 when it was tied up at 104. I mean, it was a big play in that game and created some separation, and it kind of was downhill after that. So you got to be locked in, and that was a telltale sign. But so Minnesota's got to pick it up here to finish this quarter. They still got 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That's an eternity in this game.
Luka hits 2 free throws. Dallas a 13-3 run. They lead by 2. Mike Conley, Kyle Anderson, Nikhil, Naz, and Jaden out there. Mike will fire a left angle 3. Missed that one long, but an offensive rebound to Kyle Anderson. Back to Conley. He'll scoot his way through the lane to the corner. McDaniels back up top. Conley. Now Kyle on the move in the lane. Over Gafford. Jump hook. Got it. Kyle's been so solid on those jump hooks in this series.
Really has. And he and Mike combining right there to make a play on that possession, being methodical right there and finishing with the mid-range jump shot by Kyle Anderson.
63% shooting in this series. Not a ton of volume. Here's Luka against McDaniels to the left elbow, circles back to the right elbow, moves into the paint. Now the one-footed fall away off the heel. No. Rebound tapped out, and Dallas has it. P.J. Washington, left side, back out to Luka. 1:49 left to go in the half. Tied at 47. Off the Gafford screen, nothing develops. Now Kyrie with it, left angle against Nikhil. Fakes right, comes left, drives in. Nikhil swats down. It's off the leg of Kyrie Irving, out of bounds. They say Dallas basketball.
Are they going to challenge this call? I thought I'm with
an
you.
Opportunity to challenge it. There's 0.4 on the shot clock, so maybe they don't want to risk it. Here's Kyrie along the baseline, lobs it to the rim. Gafford knocked it away. It's a shot clock violation.
That makes a lot
so I think
of sense.
maybe that factored in, especially with the fact that the Wolves haven't won a challenge in this series. They're 0 for 2 coming into tonight. Dallas 4-1. Tied at 47. Timberwolves have it from right to left. Wolves are still shooting 50%, but they've turned it over 8 times here in the first half. For 18 Dallas points, the trend continues. Jade to the elbow, off to Kyle Anderson, who moves it to Conley. Mike may have gotten away with a carry into the paint. Now he peeked his pivot foot, drew some contact. The shot, no, but a foul. It's going to go on Gafford, I believe. That should be his second.
Or Derek Jones.
Well, if it's on Derek Jones, that'd be his second, too. That'll work.
Looks like he pushes Mike a little bit.
He does.
Kind of bodies him up as he's trying to pivot and find a way to get the shot off.
Conley to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Wolves 9 of 13 at the free throw line. So for 3 straight games in this series, the Wolves have had a lead going into the final 5 minutes. Had a 4-point lead in game 1. Dallas goes 10-3 to end the game. Wolves led by 5 with 1 minute and 6 seconds left in game 2. Dallas goes 6-0 to end the game. Timberwolves a tenuous 2-point lead with 4:36 left. Then Dallas goes 14-3 to end the game. 3 straight clutch time wins for the Mavericks. Conley strokes a pair, and the Wolves now lead by 2, 49-47. We've had 6 ties. We've had 5 lead changes. The Wolves have led by as many as a dozen. Here's Gafford on the perimeter, guarded by McDaniels. Now to Luka, up fakes Kyle Anderson, gets a step into the paint, and swings it out to Kyrie. Open right angle 3, missed it long. Nikhil's got the rebound. 1:03 left to go in the half. The Wolves push the pace. Conley gives it right back to Nikhil, throws it away right side. 9th turnover of the half. Mavericks have 18 points off the first 8 miscues. And those are plays that you just can't throw away at this level in a conference finals. And back the other way, a lob from Kyrie to Gafford, and it ties the game at 49. 9 turnovers, 20 points for Dallas. That's what good teams do. They make you pay for mistakes. And the Wolves are making a ton of them here in the first half. Here's Nikhil with it up top against P.J. Washington. Spins in the paint. Kicks out to Kyle Anderson. Shot clock's down to 4. Kyle to the free throw line. Pulls up. Jumper short. Luka the rebound. There's a 4-second differential. Game clock, shot clock. Neither team has a foul to give. Luka will get across the timeline with a couple of seconds to spare. Just pounding the dribble with his right hand. Crouched over. Nikhil's on him. Now Luka starts to move forward. 8 on the shot clock. Now with 7. Works on Nikhil, and an offensive foul is called against Luka Doncic. It's about Ed Malloy stepping up and making that call. Yeah, Luka can't believe it. The Rookie of the Year, the 5-time All-Star, the 4-time All-NBA, 3rd in the MVP voting. He got the off-arm up against Nikhil, and he's called for the offensive foul. It's just his first. Wolves have it. 10.6 left. I think that also caught Nikhil up under the chin.
Sure did.
So Mike will push it up the center of the floor here. Now with 6 seconds left to go in the half. Off a Naz screen with 3. With 2, Mike jukes into the paint, rises up, floats it up. He thought he got fouled from behind by P.J. Washington.
He did.
No call. Horn sounds. Halftime here in Dallas. Tied at 49. 17 for Anthony Edwards. 13 for Mike Conley. Kyrie Irving has 6, but Luka Doncic 17 points despite 4 of 13 shooting. At the half, tied at 49. Cal Soderquist anchors your halftime coverage next, all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
Why do we say I'm into basketball? Because basketball's exciting, like catching a t-shirt from a cannon, or feeling the pulse of a packed arena. There's the in-your-face slam dunks, the highlight reel alley-oops, and the three-point buzzer beaters. It all gets your heart pounding. Just like playing the lottery. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Hey, this is Ben Lieber from my friends at Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. You know, I am passionate about the benefits of regenerative agriculture, and these guys get it. Thousand Hills implements holistic grazing practices that restore and enhance our soil and natural resources. It's how farming should be. Plus, the beef is delicious. No antibiotics, no synthetic hormones, no feedlot confinements, just grazing on diverse pastures for the entire life of the animal. Check out this Minnesota brand at your local food co-op, Coburn's, or learn more at thousandhillslifetimegraze.com.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park for some tug-of-war. Or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Conley gives it right back to Nikhil, throws it away right side. 9th turnover of the half. Mavericks have 18 points off the first 8 miscues. And those are plays that you just can't throw away at this level in a conference finals. And back the other way, a lob from Kyrie to Gafford, and it ties the game at 49. 9 turnovers, 20 points for Dallas. That's what good teams do. They make you pay for mistakes. And the Wolves are making a ton of them here in the first half.
Yeah, arguably the tale of tonight's first half. Minnesota miscues. You could cast a wider net and just include mental mistakes in general. The Timberwolves, as you heard Alan mention there, 9 first-half turnovers. Mavs turning those into 20 points off of turnovers. They've got a 20-7 advantage in that category. And the Wolves should consider themselves lucky to be tied at the halftime intermission. It's 49-49, all square here in this win-or-go-home Game 4 for the Timberwolves, of course, trailing the series 3-0. Welcome inside the Minnesota Lottery halftime show. We'll dive into a few more of the first-half highlights in just a minute. We'll also take a closer look at that first-half box score as the Timberwolves shot 47% from the field but got outscored by 12 from the three-point line. And again, too many mental miscues, either with the turnovers or with the foul trouble. We'll catch you up on that in just a moment. And then we'll get you back to Dallas for a conversation with assistant coach Corliss Williamson. He'll shed some light on what was discussed inside the locker room at the halftime break before we begin that third quarter action, as again, Minnesota on the brink of elimination should they come up short for a 4th straight game here tonight. Let's start with those highlights. Wolves with their backs against the wall on the brink of elimination if they're unable to emerge with a win here tonight. Anthony Edwards and his teammates looking and playing like the more desperate team in the opening minutes of this first quarter.
Now Luka inside to Derrick Jones Jr. Tough shot over Rudy. That's no good. Wolves have the rebound. They're looking to push. And on the hunt. Down the lane. Rises up. Double clutches. Layup good with the left hand. It's a 10-3 Timberwolves run, and they're doubling up the Mavs early.
Rudy only has 3 blocks in the series and doesn't get credit for one right there, but he's the one that definitely made Dallas miss that last shot.
How about 14 first quarter points for Anthony Edwards, 4 of 7 from the field, left some money on the table too, 5 of 8 from the free throw line in those opening 12 minutes. So could have even had more, but that bucket right there saw the Wolves grab an early 10-5 advantage. They were still doubling up the Mavs with just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter, 24-12. Before Dallas ultimately finished the frame on a mini 8-3 burst, got to within 7. It was 27-20, Timberwolves with the 7-point lead after the opening frame. Mavs then rallied as close as 1 just 3 minutes into the second quarter. Wolves quickly reestablishing more breathing room. Mike Conley sneaking in for some second chance points.
38-32. Here comes Ant in the front court. Sizing up Klebo, rises up for the three ball. Short, Conley, the offensive rebound. Nobody home protecting the rim as Klebo was out in the perimeter. And Mike had his easiest shot of the series. 10-3, Wolves run to lead by 8.
7 second chance points for the Timberwolves in this first half. They do have an edge in terms of the battle of the boards, 23-16. Mike Conley with that putback right there. The problem, though, Dallas answering right back.
And he draws another foul.
There's literally a defender right in front of him. He's going over the back of that defender to try, and you can't do that. When you have 2 fouls, there has to be some kind of recognition. And a corner 3 for Derrick Jones Jr. again, his second straight. And all of a sudden, the Wolves' 12-point lead has disappeared. We're tied at 42. 8-0 Dallas run.
So Alan and Jim in that sequence right there, lamenting a lack of awareness from Karl Anthony Towns, an over-aggressive play, whistled for his third personal foul. And just a couple possessions later, Anthony Edwards whistled for number 3. Shortly after that, Rudy Gobert picked up foul number 3. So in a span of less than 2 minutes of game time, all three of Cat, Ant, and Rudy whistled for their third personal fouls. That is certainly something worth monitoring when the second half gets underway. Those guys had to sit for better part of 2 minutes in that first half. The Wolves able to hang on thanks to some big plays from Mike Conley, Kyle Anderson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker hitting a triple as well. And like we said, the Wolves should consider themselves lucky to be tied up here at the halftime break. 49-all is your score. Ant and his 17 points leads the way for Minnesota. 14 of those 17 came in the opening frame. Again, Mavs with a 12-point advantage in terms of the three-point shooting. Although they shot just 37% from the field as a team, they are benefiting from Timberwolves' miscues. 9 first-half turnovers for the Wolves. Mavs scored 20 points off those 9 turnovers. They've got a 20-7 edge there. They're more than doubling up the Wolves in terms of bench scoring, 15-7. And it's Luka Doncic leading the charge, 17 points, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He also pulled down a team-best 8 first-half rebounds. Again, Dallas without Derek Lively with that neck sprain via the Karl Anthony Towns knee. So he sat out, lacking some depth in the front court, but Luka and the Mavs still hanging in this ball game, all tied up at 49. Anthony Edwards and his 17, Mike Conley just behind him with 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting, 3 boards and 3 dimes from Minnesota Mike. But the Timberwolves need to clean up the turnovers. They need to keep more than half their starters out of foul trouble. All 3 of Ant, Cat, and Rudy with 3 each. Jaden McDaniels has a pair as well. So watch that foul situation when the third quarter gets underway. Speaking of the third quarter, we'll have it for you just around the corner right here on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
When it comes to watching the game, it's always nice to sit and savor a delicious snack. And Jack Link's protein snacks always hits the shot. Jack Link's beef jerky is made with 100% beef that's simply seasoned in hardwood smoke to deliver a mouth-watering, flavorful, good source of protein, convenient snack. Jack Link's, the official protein snack of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Is it possible to detect the undetectable? Could people record their voice and share it with doctors who'll use advanced AI technology that can accurately detect signals in the human voice that are indicators of coronary artery disease? Is it possible? It already is, because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Still at the break in Dallas, Timberwolves and Mavs all square at 49. Minnesota had a lead as large as 12 in that opening frame, but Dallas weathering the early storm and then taking full advantage of 9 Minnesota turnovers in that first half turning those into 20 points. They've got a 20-7 edge in the points off turnovers. And Minnesota, too many mental lapses, whether it be turnovers or some careless fouls. Karl Anthony Towns whistled for his third personal halfway through the second quarter. Anthony Edwards followed shortly after that, as did Rudy Gobert. So all three of those guys forced to sit for the final 2 minutes and change. Minnesota taking on water, but also able to tread water in those final few minutes, as they are probably lucky to be in this halftime break all tied up at 49. Wolves shot 47% from the field. They got outscored, though, from deep, outscored by 12 points. Dallas, 8 of 19 from long range. That's a 42% clip, and that helped make up for the fact that overall they shot just 37% from the field. Luka Doncic and his 17 points leads the way for the Mavs. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards and his 17, 14 of which came in the opening frame. He leads the way for Minnesota. Timberwolves with work left to do. All square at 49. We'll take one final pause. Get you back to Dallas next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Is it possible to detect the undetectable? Could people record their voice and share it with doctors who use advanced AI technology that can accurately detect signals in the human voice that are indicators of coronary artery disease? Is it possible? It already is, because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
At the half, Timberwolves and Mavericks all tied at 49. Timberwolves and Mavericks each with an offensive rating of 104 in that first half. But boy, the Wolves got off to a good start. That offensive rating was up there. Dallas's was way low. But after the Wolves dominated the first quarter, went up by as many as 12, Dallas able to recover. And at the half, it's all tied up at 49 apiece. Corliss Williamson's going to join us outside the Timberwolves locker room here in mere moments. But a reminder that summer's just around the corner. Now's the best time to register your child for the Wolves and Lynx summer basketball camps. Camps are held throughout the metro region. They'll feature a special appearance by Crunch. Registration now open at TimberwolvesBasketballAcademy.com. Corliss, you with us? Corliss Williamson will be along with us here in just a moment. Now let's try. Corliss, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Right on. Okay, what's the biggest thing you guys touched on at the half?
Number one thing is we got to take care of the ball. We've given them 20 points off turnover, so that's one of the areas that got to clean up and, try to stop fouling. We put them on the free throw line 14 times, so just do a better job in those two areas. I think we'll have a little better outcome.
Yeah, all those ticky-tack fouls, one for each guy, I thought really added up, and next thing you know, they're on the bench with 3 minutes to go in the half.
Yes, that's one of the things we talked about. Like, you can't get those silly fouls, early on in the game because they'll come back to haunt you. They do a good job of selling the foul, so you can't put yourself in that position.
Besides for the fouling, you guys have held them to 37% shooting. Yeah, they've knocked down 8 threes. Is there something to clean up on the defensive end?
Well, a couple of those threes have come off of offensive rebounds, so we got to do a better job there. And then a couple of our coverages, we were in too much and gave them lanes to get wide open shots. So I think we can do a better job in that area. We'll clean some of that stuff up and take away some of the threes.
Corliss, I feel like they're missing Rudy on the roll at times, and he's got one shot attempt in the game, and Cat has 3 shot attempts. How can you get those two guys involved more?
For Rudy, he's got to keep rolling, and we have to make sure we do a better job of finding him, as you said. I think Cat, he's driving the ball now. Now he's got to make sure he makes himself available for some of those wide open threes.
Corliss, as always, we appreciate it. Good luck second half.
All right, thank you.
Corliss Williamson along with us, tied at 49. Jim, your biggest takeaway from that first half?
Complacency. I didn't think there was a lot of focus there. I thought that some of the fouling that happened in the second quarter was, it started in the first quarter. Some of the silly fouls that we saw from really everybody. Rudy Gobert had a couple unfortunate ones. Karl Anthony Towns, his first foul was really silly, pressing up on Luka Doncic. So we've seen a lot, Alan. We've seen, like, when Karl picks up those silly fouls like that, the ones that really are meaningful when they happen, now all of a sudden he gets into foul trouble, takes him out of the game. So it's really important for Ant, Carl, and Rudy to stay in this game and not get into foul trouble early in the third quarter.
And to have the focus that you just mentioned they didn't have in the first half.
Yeah.
I can accept the Wolves bowing out in 4 games, but let's play the right way. Let's be smart about things. And if Luka and Kyrie are too much and their gang, well, then so be it. But I feel like the Wolves wasted a glorious opportunity in the first half to probably have a double-digit lead with a lot of the things that they did.
Yeah, and the turnovers and the points off turnovers tell a story. So, 20 points off turnovers for Minnesota, that's just an unacceptable number. They had 9 turnovers, and that's incredible for Minnesota. It's over 2 points of turnover, which is
unheard of.
It's really unheard of. It really is.
League average probably is like 1.3, 1.4 points per turnover.
Yes.
And that might be on the high end.
Yes.
It's uncanny. And we've mentioned that the Wolves are only averaging 10 turnovers a game, but Dallas is getting 14 points a game off of those. And this is the example to the extreme here in Game 4. So the Timberwolves come out of the locker room. They'll go with their starting 5. It'll be Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. 3 of those players, Ant, Cat, Rudy, each have 3 personal fouls. Dirk Nowitzki's getting to his seat if you're worried about that. He's moving a little, when you're 7 foot, I guess, after the years and mileage on those legs.
He's sitting right next to Kevin Harlan right there on the table.
Well, that's not a bad seat right there. And plus you get to hear Kevin, too.
And you can lean against the table. You can stick your arm up at the table, have a little elbow rest.
They probably put your drinks there and some food, too. Kevin's not going to take that off.
When Tom Hanneman and I were courtside on the Commander side, there was a guy that used to come from, I think it was from one of the food companies, whatever. He used to come, he would pile peanuts on the table next to me and crack his peanuts and eat them right next to me.
First play, third quarter, Cat goes to work down the lane and runs it up with the right hand. How long did that last before you finally stepped in and said enough? Daniel Gafford, just the second dunk of the game for Dallas, but they've got 22 dunks in 4 games. The Wolves, they had 12 over the first 3 games.
Luckily, that guy didn't come very often. But when he did, I let him put his peanuts up there. It didn't really bother me that much, but it was still silly.
Here's McDaniels inside off glass. The shot no, and Luka's got the rebound. Luka up the center of the floor. Here's 3-on-3 basketball. He'll step through in the lane, drops it back for Gafford. Tough catch, but he made it and then laid it in for 2. So Gafford with 4 points to begin the third quarter. Dallas leads by 2, 53-51. 11 minutes left to go third quarter. Ant had the big first half with 17 points in 19 minutes. Actually, 18 minutes. Here's Ant on the attack in the lane. Steps through to the corner. Mike Conley catch and shoot 3. Nope, missed it long. Rebound tapped out of bounds. It'll be Dallas basketball. Rudy got a hand to it. And Rudy came awfully close to taking Doncic's head off and picking up a foul.
Yes, he did.
So 53-51. It's Dallas by 2. Just underway in the second half. Down 3 games to none. Doncic down the lane. Throws up the shot from the left mid-post and hits it.
They're going to call a foul on Daniel Gafford here.
Wow, they wave. I think he signaled the bucket is going to count.
Yeah, so
let's see the timing here.
Luka throws this up, and he knocks it down. But at the same time, Daniel Gafford dislodges Rudy Gobert and fouls him and sends him towards the stanchion.
Dallas leads by 4 here, 55-51. Ant into the paint, runs right into Kyrie. Kicks it right side. Jaden McDaniels rattles in a 3. Opposite the Wolves bench. It's the first 3 of the night for Jaden. He's got 5 points, and the Wolves are back to within 1. 55-54. Off the high screen by Gafford. Luka probes left side. Sees a lane. Blows it up, and Gafford throws down the alley-oop. Daniel Gafford, another alley-oop dunk. That's his 9th of the series. And he's got 3 more dunks, so that puts him at 14 for the series. He's been unstoppable inside.
Rudy is in no man's land. He's not impacting Luka's shot. He also can't get back to Gafford.
Drive by Ant, hunting for the foul, couldn't get it. He gets knocked down. Here comes Dallas the other way. Up by 3. Luka surveys the scene, zips it right side, jumped by Jaden McDaniels. What a play. Wolves have numbers. Jaden will give it up to Ant. Steps through on Doncic, back to Jaden. He'll rise up and jam it. Rudy got away with a shove. I'm not sure where Rudy's head is at right now. He just literally shoved Derrick Jones Jr. out of the play. 57-56. 5 straight points for Jaden McDaniels. Kyrie up top off the P.J. Washington screen. P.J. fires left angle triple off the feed from Irving and missed it. Anthony Edwards with a rebound. Dallas by 1. Here's Ant drifting up top. P.J. Washington on, crosses over in the lane, floats it up with the right hand, missed the shot. Had a pretty good look. Doncic pulls down the rebound. Cross court to P.J. Washington, picked up at the trade deadline from Charlotte. Gafford picked up at the deadline from Washington. Irving into the paint, bounce pass across the lane, got knocked away, and it's scooped up by Mike Conley. Wolves hunting for the lead. They've got a 4-on-2 advantage. To the corner, it's Ant. Pump fakes the three, moves to a 15-footer, goes cross court. Jaden went up for it, came down out of bounds.
Boy.
Well, it's another Ant pass that is just absolutely airmailed.
His skip passing has been really a head scratcher. I mean, he airmailed 3 turnovers in game 2 that really impacted Minnesota's ability to win in a close game.
And with 3 turnovers here tonight, and he hasn't had a ton of turnovers in the series, but he's had 8 turnovers in 3 games, but they've led to 20 points. Right. Here's Luka getting free right to the rim, and he'll lay it in with the left hand, 59-56, and now Rudy has to be separated with Derrick Jones Jr. And Luka steps in on Bill Kennedy. He wants a technical on each, or he wants actually a foul on Rudy, I think.
You mentioned the shove that Rudy gave Derrick Jones Jr. a couple possessions ago. Rudy Gobert gives him, as Derrick Jones is trying to back screen Rudy Gobert, Rudy takes his forearm and hits him right in the stomach as Luka Doncic just goes right to the rim. So it's the back screen by Derrick Jones that got Rudy upset.
And the Rudy sucks chants rain down here. Just echoing what Draymond Green says on TNT. So the officials will come to the scorer's table here. Scott Foster will head to the microphone.
Play was stopped for a technical foul. That gives us the opportunity to go back and see if there was a hostile act during the play.
So they've already called a technical foul? That's what I got from that.
I feel like Derrick Jones Jr. got called for grabbing Gobert as he was rolling to the rim, but they didn't see the first contact by Rudy Gobert, the forearm shiver to the stomach and chest area of Derrick Jones Jr.
So Ed Malloy and Scott Foster don the headset. Nothing for Bill Kennedy. Can you answer me this question?
Sure.
If you want to have all 3 officials discuss and talk about a play, because this is what will happen. Ed Malloy and Scott Foster will be done. Then they get off their headsets, go talk to the third guy. Why not 3 headsets? Why not put everybody on the headset at once so we can cut down the time?
It would make a lot of sense. I mean, Bill Kennedy's out of the loop right now.
It's always the third official who's just left standing there, but then they take off the headsets and they go talk to him. Then they go back to the headsets.
So Derrick Jones Jr. is the one that goes and confronts Rudy Gobert, which caused a technical foul to be called.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. It's not on the play-by-play yet of a technical foul, but that's what Scott Foster said, right? A technical foul.
It is what he said.
So I guess we'll get this all sorted out after they look at this. Wolves fans, there's still time to upgrade your playoff gear with the latest from the Timberwolves team store, a Fanatics experience. Head to shop.timberwolves.com right now and get your officially licensed playoff gear. So a timeout here with 8:28 left to go in the third. Headsets are off. Oh, yeah, how about this, Jim? You're going to bring in Bill Kennedy now to talk about it. What did I just say? Get that security guard out of the way.
I'm a little surprised that Bill Kennedy, as charming as he is, that he's not a crew chief more often. He's not been.
He has been in the regular season, but not the postseason.
Not the postseason.
Yeah, and we've seen a Bill Kennedy.
That review, play was stopped for an altercation. A technical foul during that altercation was called on Jones. During live play, during our hostile act, we saw contact by Gobert that can only be penalized as a technical foul at this point. So it's a double technical foul, and it'll be a baseline throw-in.
Okay. So double technicals.
Okay. I like that exchange for Minnesota because it could have been worse. Rudy Gobert was the first one to make the contact, so I mean, giving him a technical foul is just fine. It doesn't hurt Minnesota in any way.
It does give possession to Minnesota. Actually, I can't even remember what the result of the play was. Anyway, the Wolves have it.
It was a make by Doncic, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah, Luka scored. Good point. Yeah. So it's 59-56. Dallas leads by 3. There's 8:22 left to go third quarter. Mike Conley has it up top from left to right in the association white jerseys. Horn set. He'll work to his right. Back up top, it's Towns. Towns, couple of dribbles down the lane, scoops it up off the glass. That's easy pickings as Maxi Kleba was caught flat-footed. So Cat with 4 field goals in this game. He has not attempted a 3. He's got 9 points. Wolves are down by 1. Here's Luke off the Kleba screen to the left elbow. Back to Maxi, who's reluctant to shoot. Here's Doncic, fakes right, comes left, now fires the 3 over Ant. Came up short. He wanted that one.
They're trying to run stack pick and roll and trying to screen Rudy in the back screen with Derek Jones. They did it again that time.
And with it right side. Hand checked by Doncic. And cross court, Jaden. Now to Conley. Up top, Towns. Good pump fake. He'll drive into the paint.
Oh my
Crashes over Maxi Kleba. And that's the most obvious offensive foul you could have. So that's number 4 on Towns. 2 of those have been offensive fouls. And the Wolves get back to the other end of the floor. They trail by 1, 59-58.
The thing that's really frustrating with me with Towns is that his inability to either pull up or have a mid-range. You got to have an in-between game. You can't get to the rim every single time. You got to have a semblance of an in-between
jump
game.
stop, and he can easily float that in because he's got a great shooting touch.
Exactly.
59-58, Kyrie. You know, every single time you make a mistake, the Wolves do, the Mavs make them pay. Kyrie Irving with a pull-up 3 to go up by 4. 25 points off of 11 turnovers. Here's Towns, bumped baseline, floaters up and in. 3-point play coming up for Karl Anthony Towns, 62-60. 25 points off 11 turnovers.
Yep. Again, Rudy's back in coverage on the Kyrie make, so Karl turns it over with the offensive foul, comes back to the other end. Screened that time by Maxi Kleba, and that frees up Kyrie Irving for the jump shot. But I just don't, if you're guarding Maxi Kleba, he's not a roll threat. You could get up a little bit closer and deny that shot attempt by Kyrie Irving. Karl Anthony Towns does a nice job here at the other end, getting a 3-point play for Minnesota, cuts it to 1.
He hits the free throw. Kyrie with it in the front court, hounded by Jaden McDaniels off a Kleba screen. Kyrie against Rudy at the elbow. The jumper no good. Cat clears the rebound. The Wolves can get the lead here.
Got him that time.
62-61, and beautiful step move right around Derek Jones Jr. He lays it up and in his first 2 points of the second half, and the Wolves are back in front, 63-62. Here comes Luka across the timeline. He's watched by Ant. Cat jumps out on a show. Now Kleba, left side, is going to fire in the 3. It's no good. Cat gets back to grab the rebound. 12 points, 4 rebounds for Karl Anthony Towns. Timberwolves are a +8 on the glass tonight. They have been good in the paint as well, up 12 in that category. Towns, left side 3 on the way. Got it. His first 3-ball of the night. His first attempt, his first hit. And the Wolves now lead by 4. It's an 8-0 Minnesota run. Cat, very efficient, 6 of 7 shooting. Here's Luka up top, well out by the midcourt stripe. Picked up the dribble. Now Derek Jones Jr. spins on Conley inside. Runs it up with the left hand. Shot, no. Rudy snares the rebound. Took it away from Cat. 8-0 Timberwolves run.
Towns has 10 in the quarter now.
Here's Ant with it up top. Off the Rudy screen to his right. Gets to the mid post. Now the low block. Still pounding the dribble. He's got Derek Jones Jr. on him. He bangs away once. Now tries to turn the corner. Hesitates. Spins. And he traveled. Tried to move his way all across the paint. And eventually dragged the pivot foot. 5:39 left to go here in the third quarter. Timberwolves still on an 8-0 run. Still up 4 in game 4. 66-62. You're listening to Timberwolves basketball.
Hey, honey, the battery light on my dash lit up. I think I'll take it to a shop today.
Really? I can take care of that.
Are you sure?
Of course. Okay, got my battery. Let's just drop it in and...
Are you okay out there?
I think so.
Should my car be smoking like that?
Some things are better left to the professional. When you need your vehicle fixed, trust your local repair facility. And when you need a battery, trust FVP. Visit FVPparts.com for an installer near you.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
Your lucky jersey, your pack, your hometown team. It's Superfan season in Minneapolis downtown, so don't miss out on a minute of fun, friends, and nonstop excitement. From pregame meetups to postgame celebrations, be there for your favorite teams and the big wins. In Minneapolis, we play for the love of the game, and you're the best part of our story. Visit MPLSdowntown.com to get your game on. See you downtown.
Bring the fun to family time with a visit to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Start by making a splash and memories at the lagoon. Our indoor water park includes a lazy river, an activity pool, and more exciting features. Then hit the lanes at Island Extreme Bowl for some family-friendly competition before you head to our luxurious hotel for a relaxing night away. Book your stay now at TICasino.com. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination fun.
The Wolves on an 8-0 run. There's 5.5 left to go in the third quarter, and the Wolves somehow, Jim Peterson, with a lot of the things we've seen go wrong in these first 2.5 quarters, have the lead in this game.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Karl Anthony Towns has come here, scored 10 points in the quarter, so it's really helped Minnesota's cause.
It's the first time he's had a double-digit quarter since Game 2 against Denver.
How about that?
That's 8 games in between those two things.
Yeah, so that's a long time. And, you know, they've needed Karl to come to the party here against Dallas, and he has not done it for the most part. He's been saddled with foul trouble. He's not been effective shooting the basketball. He's not shot a high percentage. He's been somewhat disappointing. So I would say totally disappointing in all three of these games. And so he's come here in this third quarter and really helped Minnesota's cause out here, get that lead back. So can he keep it up? And after he picked up that fourth foul, too, he had the charging call. And so Chris Finch rolling with him, and it's paid off.
I mean, honestly, I would not even worry about the foul situation. Right. If he fouls out, that's on him.
Right.
And he has responded here. 15 points now, 4 rebounds, 6 of 7 shooting. And for the most part, P.J. Washington has just had the better of that matchup. That has been a problem for Karl Anthony Towns. But 6 of 7 shooting tonight. Luka's got it out of the timeout, right corner. He'll bounce it out to Kyrie Irving. Wolves go into a zone here as P.J. Washington spins in the lane up with the right hand. The jump hook would drop. Cat collects the rebound. And the Wolves on that 8-0 burst, lead by 4. They bring it up into the front court from left to right. Waist-high dribble for Mike Conley. Horn set off to Cat, who got shoved by Dante Exum. No, it's Josh Green. Here's Cat off the Rudy screen. He got knocked down. There's a whistle and a foul. Josh Green was just pushing and shoving everybody he could find in white.
Minnesota comes out of the timeout and shows zone. They get a stop out of it. They did the same thing in the first half. They utilized zone defense a few times to get some stops.
Josh Green shoved Rudy to the deck. He also got his foot in there. That tripped up Rudy. That's why he fell down. So 5:05 left to go here, third quarter. Off a Gobert screen. Conley's got it right side beyond the arc. Up top to Towns. He moves to his left. Pump fakes the 3. And now drew a foul as he went into the air. Oh, they called a foul on Cat. It's offensive.
Such a flop. They got to challenge that. They need to challenge that.
Nope. He puts his elbow up right into P.J. Washington. I think there was a technical foul called as well. Scott Foster just got a technical on Towns. Cat's third offensive foul in an elimination game. Yeah, this is obvious.
Yeah, it was. He did hit him in the chin.
It was tough to see from our angle.
He hit him in the chin. He did hit him.
We're on the opposite side. Hey, what is the goal here?
Why is he sticking his elbow into the face of P.J. Washington as he's trying to pass the ball?
And now Scott Foster is donning the headset. Oh, my goodness. Could they make this possibly an offensive flagrant? We have not. Now, Cat has 4 offensive flagrants in his career. They all came a number of seasons ago. They all came in one season. In fact, they all came in the second half of this season. And I can't remember. I'll have to look up what year this was. But it's the rare possibility of a flagrant offensive foul. How many times do we have to see this replay? Poor P.J. Washington's getting hit in the chin. You know what? I wouldn't argue if they call that a flagrant, an offensive flagrant, which is going to result
I am with you 100%.
The technical foul has not been called against Towns. He got it on Chris Finch. So Chris got the vocal cords warmed up there, and they heard him from the second row.
Okay. Well, he had stepped out on the court, too, so.
Yeah, that adds a dimension, too. Well, it was funny in that Denver series.
The foul didn't even comment. It doesn't rise to the level of a flagrant foul.
Okay, Scott Foster. It's a blatant elbow to the jaw of P.J. Washington. You know, I thought there was a couple plays in the Indiana game last night where the guy for Indiana who keeps kicking people in the face after a pump fake. Is it Jackson? Yeah. And they showed the replay on Twitter of Jordan McLaughlin getting kicked in the face by this dude who falls for a pump fake and then kicks people.
Right.
And so that's
it's egregious.
It is egregious. And it is flagrant. I thought T.J. McConnell probably got a collision with Jaylen Brown, too, who went down awfully hard.
You know, the one thing Karl Anthony Towns picking up his fifth foul is that Naz Reed has only 2 points in this game. He's 1 of 4, but I think that Naz might be able to get on a little bit of a roll here, and he's going to get some minutes under his belt here.
Yes,
Karl's going to be on the bench until the middle of the fourth quarter.
Naz in this series has gone for 15, 23, and 14 points. He's shot 56%. He's at 11 of 20 from deep. They're going to need numbers like that from Naz Reed here in the second half.
He's going to get his chance now. Minnesota showing zone again.
Doncic to P.J. Washington, right side. Baseline Hardy is cut off by Naz Reed. Back out to Doncic where it all started. Now 9 to shoot. Here comes Gafford to set the high screen. He'll slip it. Now Luka against Anthony Edwards. Gets free of him. Into the paint to the corner. P.J. Washington. Catch and shoot. 3 is good.
That's his spot.
Tied at 66.
Yeah, that end, too. He loves that end of the floor. That left corner, it's just one of those things where he must have just decided he's going to be that role guy who's going to be a 3-and-D guy. He's going to get spotted up in those corners, and he's going to knock down corner 3-point shots.
6 of 11 in the series on corner threes for P.J. Washington. Shot 44% over the 2 prior series. Foul on Jaden Hardy. Base sideline out of bounds for Minnesota. Tied at 66, 4:20 left to go. Here's Rudy on a dribble handoff to Anthony Edwards. Left-handed dribble to the elbow. Backing down Josh Green out to Naz Reed. Trying to find some space. He'll drive in. Scoop it up off glass. Got it in a foul. Bill Kennedy will send Naz Reed to the free throw line for an and one.
Dallas has done a really good job in this series of closing out to perimeter jump shooters for Minnesota. They get out to that right shoulder of Minnesota's right-handed shooters, and they just crowd that shoulder. Don't allow them to put it on the up from outside the arc. And then Naz has had the ability to put the ball on the floor and sift his way to the rim. Another rim attack for Naz there for an and one opportunity.
Good deep drive by Naz, too. He didn't have to pick up his dribble too early. Right. He was able to take a good deep last step, which I think gives you so much of an advantage for an offensive player. Missed free throw, though, and Gafford collects the rebound. Timberwolves have missed 5 free throws in this game. They're shooting 71% at the line. Here's Luka down the lane. He'll swing it back out. Takes a bounce. Hardy's got it. He got stripped by Kyle Anderson. Ants got the loose ball. He's off to the races right down the center of the floor. He'll jam it for 2. And the Wolves go up 70-66, leading by 4 with under 4 to go in the third. Hardy up into the front court with Doncic, Washington, Gafford, and Green. Timberwolves counter with McDaniels, Edwards, Naz Reed, Kyle Anderson, and Rudy Gobert. Out by midcourt, McDaniels hounding Doncic. Doubled by Gobert. The pass stolen, but a whistle and a foul. Anthony Edwards is called for it. He looked over to the Wolves bench to challenge this. And Ant picks up his 4th for now. And the Timberwolves will challenge this. They will call a timeout. They will challenge this play. We'll let you know the results when we come back. Timberwolves by 4 in game 4 with 3:35 left on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Anything can happen when you say I'm in to a scratch game from the Minnesota Lottery. Besides cash prizes, some scratch games offer a second chance, so even non-winning tickets can win. Since this is probably music to your ears, we'll say it again in a song. Besides cash prizes, some scratch games offer a second chance, so even non-winning tickets can win. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park for some tug-of-war. Or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
And the scoreboard update brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Let's go places. We go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Last night's Game 4 from Indy as the Pacers finish off the Celtics, a clean 4-game sweep. Flip that. The Celtics finish off the Pacers, a clean 4-game sweep. 105-102 is your final from Indy. Jaylen Brown gets Eastern Conference Finals MVP honors after a 29-point, 6-rebound, 3-steal performance. He averaged nearly 30 in the 4 games, 5 boards, 3 dimes, and a pair of steals as well. His teammate Derek White spoke about Brown being unreal the entire series.
He's unreal. I knew he was unreal when I got here, but I mean, the great thing about JB is he's gotten better every single year that he's been in this league, which is a testament to his hard work and dedication. And I mean, he was unreal this whole series, just on both sides of the ball, a complete player that you don't really see much these days. And so both sides of the ball, it was unreal. And I mean, I love being his teammate.
So the Celtics advance to the NBA Finals for the second time in the last 3 seasons. They will, of course, await the winner of this Wolves-Mavs series. And we've got a rather crucial review happening right now. Anthony Edwards potentially whistled for his 4th. Let's get back to Alan for the result.
Yeah, the Timberwolves lost the challenge. They're 0-3 on challenges in this series, and Scott Foster is not overturning his own call. That happened in Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets. Wolves were really furious. Anthony Edwards in particular, that was not overturned. So it will be a foul on Ant. That will be his 4th, and it'll give possession to Dallas. Had that gone the other way, I think the Wolves would have had imminent possession. And more importantly, Jim Peterson, they would have had a fast break opportunity because they had multiple players looking to run the floor.
Yeah, and also it looked like Daniel Gafford had reached out to grab Anthony Edwards as well, so it could have been a clear path foul as well, or at least a foul by Daniel Gafford in transition right there, which would have been a take foul. So yeah, we're still waiting for another replay here from the monitor, and I just don't know. I don't understand when the hand is part of the ball and when it's not.
Yeah.
Because what Scott Foster said was that Anthony Edwards hit the wrist, but it hits his hand and dislodges the basketball. And so when is the hand part of the ball and when is it not part of the ball? I mean, it looked like to me he hit Daniel Gafford's hand, not his wrist.
I would agree.
This is another Scott Foster. You just want to go, what in the world is wrong with this guy, man?
But this is what happens when officials are asked to overturn their own calls, and they can see some contact 100%. That will back up their own decision that's already been made. P.J. Washington, Jaden Hardy in the corner, another corner 3. Jim, the Dallas Mavericks are 16 of 30 on their corner 3s in this series. My math tells me that's over 50%. Yeah. 16 of 30. Timberwolves still lead 70-69.
Scott Foster putting his hand on the weight of justice in this series again.
Here's Jaden stepping into an angle 3, and that's good. The Wolves answer right back. 73-69. They lead by 4. Under 3 to go in the third. Josh Green on the attack across the lane to the corner. P.J. Washington. Now Hardy again. Right angle 3. In and out. No. Gafford offensive rebound. I think his pass was intended for Hardy, but it went to Washington, who stole it. He feeds Green in the corner. 3-ball, no. Rebound is loose. Jaden McDaniels comes away with it. He's on the hunt in the front court. Left-handed dribble spins away nicely from Doncic and slows things up. Mature play by Jaden McDaniels. Here's Ant, left side, steps to on Gafford, reverse layup. Oh, he missed the shot. Here's Gafford with the rebound. Gafford spinning away from trouble. Off to Hardy. Here's Doncic up in the front court. 2:20 left to go in the third. Kyle just reaches in and fouls him on purpose. It's not a take foul, fortunately. But why? I guess the Wolves had fouls to give. It was the first. With 2:13 left.
So I'm happy that Ant didn't pick up his 5th, because when he missed that layup, he was reaching for Maxi Kleba that time. He was for Daniel Gafford, who rebounded the basketball. And then, he could have been called for a foul, too, when he got frustrated on the play.
Luka comes out. Kyrie's out there with Maxi Kleba, Jaden Hardy, P.J. Washington, and Josh Green. Here's Hardy running the offense off the Kleba screen, attacks down the lane, hangs and draws fouls. And that's Rudy's 4th personal foul. So Rudy with 4, Ant with 4, Cat with 5. And this will be in the act of shooting. And what Jaden Hardy has been able to do in particular is give Jason Kidd 2 or 3 minute stretches where it's resting Luka Doncic, and he's another guy along with Kyrie, not at the level of Kyrie or Luka, but can create something. He creates fouls. Wow, they don't send him to the free throw line here.
Well,
that's the second time tonight I've been baffled by one of the...
How is that not a shooting foul?
I don't know.
I guess he maybe double clutched and maybe tried to pass at the end.
Maybe.
But Nikhil comes in for Rudy, so small lineup on the floor for Minnesota.
Here's Kyrie with it up top, working against Kyle Anderson. Hesitates, now runs it up with the left hand, off glass, too strong. The Wolves have the rebound. Naz Reed took it away from Anthony Edwards. Now Naz a little out of control in the front court, but he checks things up, just like his good buddy Jaden McDaniels did a couple of possessions ago. Here's Ant pulling up for a 3, straight away. It was halfway down, it popped out. Dallas with a rebound and 1:45 to go in the third. Timberwolves by 4.
Minnesota's used zone here.
Hardy a drive right to the cup. Jams it through with 2 hands.
That was way too easy.
Emphatic slam for Jaden Hardy. 73-71. Here's Ant off the Kyle screen. Probes to the nail. Now into the paint. Jump pass. Right side. Nikhil. 3 ball in the way. That one is rattled in by Nikhil Alexander Walker. His second 3 of the night. 76-71. Wolves have hit 8 threes. Dallas has 11. Dallas has had the edge the last couple of games from the 3-point line. Here's Jaden Hardy off to Kyrie Irving, wing left. Switched on to Kyle Anderson. Nikhil helping out for the baseline. He'll come in, strip Kyrie. It pops free to Maxi Kleba up top. 3 ball is short. Kyrie the offensive rebound. Now to Josh Green in the corner. He pump fakes the 3. He'll pass it up top. Ball deflected. It's loose into the front court. Nikhil dives for it. He's got it on his back. Feeds Kyle Anderson. The pass to Ant is deflected by Josh Green, but Ant's got it. Top of the key. 44 seconds left to go in the third. The Wolves are up by 5. On the logo at midcourt. Ant with the ball in his hands. Shot clock down to 8. Starts to move on Josh Green. Between the legs, setting him up. Left-handed dribble in the lane. He'll kick out. Here's Nikhil again. 3 ball on its way. He missed it long. Rebounded Jaden Hardy.
He needed to hit that.
76-71 with 25 seconds left to go in the quarter. Still 4-second differential, so the Wolves should get the ball back. Here's Hardy with it off the high screen by P.J. Washington. 8 on the shot clock for the Mavs. Ant is guarding Hardy. Round his back. Drives into the paint. Scoops it up off glass and got it for 2.
Ant can't foul him either, so they know that. Playing in isolation.
5 seconds left to go in the quarter. Ant picks up a head of steam. Gets a high Kyle Anderson screen. Pulls up for a 16-footer. It hits it with 0.3 of a second left to go. 78-73. The Wolves take a 5-point lead into the fourth quarter. They're right there again. Down 3-0 in this best-of-7 Western Conference Finals. They lead the Mavs by 5. We go to the fourth next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake.
If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel. Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smartertogether. Member FDIC.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
Get the champagne ready. The NBA Finals are here.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Let's raise our glasses and our rings to the 2 phenomenal teams left standing.
My goodness!
Here's the high-stakes action to thrilling moments we can't miss.
He ties the game at the buzzer!
And to crowning our next champion. Here's a toast to the NBA Finals. The The 2024 NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV, begin Thursday, June 6th on ABC.
Is it possible to see the unseeable? Could advanced imaging technology allow doctors to look deeper into the human body, uncovering the smallest of details that would otherwise go unnoticed, leading to more accurate diagnoses and treatments? Is it possible? It already is, because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
What a wild 3 quarters we've had here in Dallas. Game 4, Timberwolves backs against the wall, facing elimination for the 3rd time in this postseason. They won Game 6 on the home floor. They won the tremendous Game 7 in Denver. They now take a 5-point lead into the 4th quarter. And, Jim, there's been so many wild things that have happened in this game. Calls, non-calls, foul issue for the Wolves. It feels like Dallas should be up in this game, and yet the Timberwolves still lead by 5 going to the 4th.
Wolves have not performed up to their best advantage here, but they did outscore them in the 3rd quarter. Karl-Anthony Towns had 10 and a quarter. Anthony Edwards
had 10 and
6.
He had 10 in 7 minutes, and then picked up his 2 offensive fouls that sits him on the bench with 5.
Jaden gave you 8 points too. So, Minnesota did shoot the ball well, 63% and 57% from 3. It's the turnovers though. Again, 4 turnovers for 8 points. It's just been inextricable. And so Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I love it when he hits a shot because he's so much more effective. Naz Reed and Rudy Gobert are going to start the quarter together. So Rudy picks up that foul and still going to start the quarter here.
Yeah, the Wolves will have Conley and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kyle Anderson, Rudy Gobert, and Naz Reed. Luka on the hunt into the paint. He's got Kyle in jail on his hip, out to Hardy in the corner. Catch and shoot 3. They hit another one. That's 17 of 32. That's 54% in this series. Dallas has lit up the Wolves defense on the corner 3. 78-76. Somehow the Wolves are still up by 2. Nickeil drifts up top. He's got it. To his left in Mike Conley. Back to Nickeil. He'll catch. He'll shoot on the 3. It's offline, and Luka Doncic has the rebound. Nickeil came in 1 for his last 15 from beyond the arc. He's 2 of 5 tonight. Luka with it off the Gafford screen. Left-handed dribble switches to the right hand. He's got Kyle on his back. He kicks out to the right corner. Derrick James Jr. run off the line by Naz Reed. He penetrates inside, and that leaves Daniel Gafford all alone. You can hear it. Another dunk for Daniel Gafford. He's got 4 in the game. Conley right side, up top to Naz. He wants to catch it on the move. Cut off by Doncic at the free throw line. Spins out of that. Throws up the shot. No. And Malloy was already signaling no continuation. I'm not quite sure how that's possible, but it's sideline out of bounds here for Minnesota.
Minnesota does not have the ability to contain dribble penetration. It's making Rudy step up, and every time Rudy steps up, they dump it out to Gafford, who gets the dunk.
Here's Rudy getting free down the lane. The finger roll is up and in. Nice feed by Mike Conley. That sets up Rudy for the deuce, and the Wolves are back up by 2, 80-78.
Only Rudy's second hoop of the game.
Here's Luka again. Kyle plays him from behind, and now cross court. It goes to Derrick Jones Jr. Fake left, come right, baseline drive. His hang and kick out pass is stolen by Kyle Anderson. Kyle weaves his way up into the front court at the 3-point line. Lobs it inside. Rudy's got it. Turns on Doncic. Puts up the shot. Oh, that's a goaltend. It's going to be a foul and a goaltend, so a 3-point opportunity for Rudy Gobert with 10:18 left to go in the 4th quarter.
That is colossally stupid by Daniel Gafford. Rudy gets fouled here, and for some reason decides to patty cake it against the glass when it's on its way down. I just don't know why you would make that decision.
I'm okay with it, though. 82-78. Free throw is good. Rudy's 3 of 4 or 5 at the free throw line tonight. 10.7 rebounds. Wolves up by 5. 83-78. Still a long way to go. 10-13 left to go. Kyrie with it off the Gafford screen. He'll pop on a left angle 3. Missed it. Hit off the front rim. The weak side rebound to Anthony Edwards. Ant's got 23 points in this game. He rejects the Rudy screen, drives in, lost it on the way into the paint. Luka scoops up the loose ball. Here's Doncic on the move in the front court. Leads into Derrick Jones Jr. comes soaring in for the wing and stuffs it through for two off the alley-oop. It's another alley-oop dunk for the Dallas Mavericks. They were 11 for 11 coming into Game 4. They've added 3 more tonight. 14 for 14. The Wolves have 2. Here's Ant on the hunt, down the lane, runs up the shot. It's blocked by Gafford, who's doing it all right now. Gafford with his third block. Kyrie on the hunt, steps to in the lane, runs up the shot and hits it. It's a 1-point game. The Wolves need a timeout. And Mike Adoree is furious. He just barks right at Bill Kennedy. Ant is frustrated. This joint is jumping. The Mavs are within 1. 9:25 left to go in the fourth quarter. And you can feel it, Jim. You can feel their confidence in the fourth quarter. They know this is their time.
The difference is that when Minnesota steps up against dribble penetration, they're throwing it to lob dunk. Minnesota, when they see any kind of pressure at the rim, they're feeding right into the defense by shooting shots that are contested. Anthony Edwards just did it right there. Rudy Gobert was on the roll, Allen. He could have just thrown it up to Rudy for a lob dunk, but they're not executing that kind of play.
Or a kick out.
Exactly.
Guys on the perimeter, right?
Or a kick out, exactly.
Timeout on the floor, 83-82. The Wolves somehow still lead by 1. 9:25 left in Game 4 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Hello, I'm Matt Meyer, 5th-generation farmer from Clearwater, Minnesota, and owner of Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. We believe the tastiest, most nutritious beef comes from cattle that are regeneratively grazed for their lifetime. Never confined to a feedlot, never fed GMO plants or grains, and not exposed to chemical pesticides like glyphosate. Please find our grass-fed beef at Coburn's and your local food co-op. Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed, nourishing soil, plants, cattle, and people by holistically grazing cattle for their lifetime.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Keep the fun close to home with Treasure Island's 2-night staycation hotel package. Start your stay by playing your way through our newest slots with $50 free slot play. Go beyond the gaming floor and experience more of the island with a $75 gift card to our restaurants, bars, gift shop, and more. When it's time to unwind, make your way to our luxurious hotel for 2 relaxing nights away. Book your stay now at TICasino.com. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination fun.
When it comes to watching the game, it's always nice to sit and savor a delicious snack. And Jack Link's protein snacks always hits the shot. Jack Link's beef jerky is made with 100% beef that's simply seasoned and hardwood smoked to deliver a mouth-watering, flavorful, good source of protein, convenient snack. Jack Link's, the official protein snack of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
83-82, the Timberwolves lead the Mavericks with 9:25 left to go in the fourth quarter. During this timeout, they got a Get Loud barometer that went up on the far side. Jim, this is as loud as I've ever heard an arena. Right. I think any arena. They showed the decibel levels. You know, who knows what a 108 means. I just know it was really loud in here.
It got louder than that. I got to think that the first time we went to Phoenix, that was about as loud an arena as I had ever heard. They had pumped in all that music. Don't you remember Steve Kerr mentioning it later on in the season? And they made that rap song that was kind of mocking Steve Kerr.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
I mean, the decibels, our stage manager was marking it. It got up to 115, 118 in Phoenix.
Timberwolves have it out of the timeout. Mike Conley with it up top. He's watched by Kyrie Irving. Cat's back on the floor with 5 fouls, 3 of them offensive. Gives it to Rudy on the roll. Tough ball away from 5 feet. No, but Kyle Anderson with another offensive rebound. Kyle's got himself his third offensive rebound of the game. Here's Cat on the rumble down the lane. His shot rejected by Gafford out of bounds. So Daniel Gafford now with his third block. They said he only had 2 before that one right there. I thought he had one more in there. But Gafford had 8 in the last 2 games. He's now got 11 in 3 games. He's been a rim protector extraordinaire. He just blocked Cat again off the inbound. That's 4 blocks for Gafford. This time Dallas controls. Kyrie right side for the lead. Off rim, no. Gafford taps the rebound out. P.J. Washington. Now to Luka Doncic. So the mid post up and under on Rudy. He flips up the shot. No, but a whistle and a foul. That'll be 5 on Rudy Gobert. Timberwolves still lead 83-82. There's 8:42 left, but it is slipping away. Into that last timeout, at Superstats, Dave tells us that Dallas had made 14 shots in the second half. 4 of them made threes, 5 dunks. So 64% of their shots were either dunks or made threes.
Yeah. You're talking about efficiency right there. Is that what you're saying? Analytically friendly shots?
An analytically friendly shot chart. Free throw good by Luka Doncic. He has 22 points. He's got 11 rebounds. He's got 9 assists.
The only thing would have been if they could have mixed in a few free throws in there a little bit. That would have also upped their efficiency as well.
One more free throw coming for Doncic to put Dallas in front, and he missed it. Rebound tapped out of bounds. No, I think that's Wolves basketball.
Scott Foster's going to come in. P.J. Washington knocked it out of bounds.
Oh, Scott's not so sure of it. Now they're going to bring in Ed Malloy. And they are going to say it's Timberwolves basketball.
Well, Luka's saying challenge it, but he would lose that one. I'm surprised he's saying it because he's normally right.
Yeah. It may have hit Rudy's hand on the way out. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Timberwolves have possession of the ball. Dallas is on a 5-0 run. We're tied at 83. 8:30 left off the Rudy screen. And snakes his way right in front of Rudy. He was trying to roll. Now the pull-up 18-footer straight away is no good. That's not the shot you want that early in the shot clock. Off the screen. Here's Irving back to the left side. Derrick Jones Jr. on the attack with a right-handed dribble. Bounces it out to P.J. Washington. Corner 3. A miss. And Rudy Gobert snares the rebound. 8 minutes left to play, tied at 83.
I feel like when Ant decides he's going to get a shot off, he's going to get a shot off. Doesn't matter what the shot is, what the quality of the shot is, or where it's at. He's going to squeeze the trigger.
Yep. Here's Cat left side against P.J. Washington. Up fakes, now a little up and under. The shot, no, but contact. No, they're going to call a defensive 3-second call against Dallas. Cat is going to the free throw line. He'll take the free throw. Tied at 83 with 7:55 left to go in the fourth. Timberwolves all-time in elimination games 6-11 in their franchise history. They have never been swept in a 7-game series.
This game being as close as it is right now, Minnesota now taking a 1-point lead, Allen. They couldn't play any worse right now. And it's a 1-point game in their favor. You feel like if they can just get a win, get a little momentum going in their way, they can turn this series around.
It's right
They're the better team.
It's right there for the taking. Off the inbound, a kick ball. And the officials didn't call it initially. But Derrick Jones Jr. kicked it up right to himself. There's no way that was not a kick ball. Officials are discussing it. Inadvertent whistle. It's Dallas basketball. Love to see a replay of that. What happens here? Oh, he didn't get his foot to it. He got his hand to it. He raised his right foot. Derrick Jones Jr. was guarding Ant coming off the inbound. And Ant now with 6 turnovers in the game. It's the most he's had in a game in the series. Kyrie down the lane. He missed the shot. Rudy with a pretty good contest. 84-83. The Wolves still lead by 1. There's 7:39 left to play. And on the right side, Hunting off the Gobert screen. Pulls up mid-range jumper right side and banks it in for 2. Anthony Edwards now 4 of 9 on his bank shots here in the postseason. 86-83. He had that mindset you were just talking about, Jim.
Right.
He was going to take the shot. This time he hit it. Luka on a drive by Ant to the corner. Kyrie left side. against Jaden McDaniels. Holds now, tries to drive the baseline, spins back middle, kick out Maxi Cleveland. Big man's going to drive in. He'll lob it to the corner. Derrick Jones Jr. touch pass to the angle. The three ball's good for P.J. Washington. P.J. came in 0 for 10 on his above-the-break threes in this series, and he just tied the game at 86 on an above-the-break three. Here's Ant off the Rudy screen. Edwards up top, Conley, who zips into the corner. It got deflected, but Towns able to control. Baseline drive. Cat stops, feeds Rudy inside. He gets sandwiched, flips up the shot. No, but a whistle and a foul, and Rudy's going to the free throw line for two.
Yeah, man.
So great adjustment by Towns. He actually checked up when he saw Luka Doncic setting up to draw the charge.
Exactly right. He pulled up on the baseline drive. Luka showed up for him. He puts the brakes on and makes the pass to Rudy Gobert. It's just the third team foul, but it's the fourth team foul on Dallas right now. That's the third team foul on Dallas. And I thought the foul kind of happened on the ground. I was wondering if they were going to give him free throws or not, because he got fouled on the ground, right? I mean,
missed free throw here. 4 of 6 at the free throw line for Rudy now. I agree. I don't think there should be free throws at. So that's the third time already tonight. I've been baffled by players going to the free throw line. By the way, that P.J. Washington above the break three, he had been 0 for 11 in the series on above the break threes.
How about that?
And he picks a fine time to knock down his first. Rudy hits 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. The Wolves are back up 1, 87-86. There's 6:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Doncic left side to P.J. Washington. Dances a bit with it. Now gives it back to Luka. Luka sitting on 22 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. Now to P.J. right side. Drives in on Gobert. Scores it for 2 off the glass. P.J. Washington now with 10 points, 4 boards.
I don't know what Carl is doing. He's hard hedging so hard and getting way out of position. When he closes out to P.J. Washington, he just attacks the closeout and beats him to the rim.
Cat beats P.J. into the paint, off to Rudy. He'll rise up and dunk it for 2. And shouldn't Cat know that P.J. Washington, KYP, right? Know your personnel?
Yeah.
Dude is 1 for 12 on above the break threes.
Oh, my gosh.
The Wolves thought they had gotten a turnover. Kyle Anderson was racing the other way for a breakaway dunk, but Scott Foster calls a foul on Kyle Anderson. That'll be the third on KA. So Doncic will trigger in just beyond midcourt. There's 6:05 left, and the Wolves are still up 1. I feel like I've been saying that for the last 4 minutes. Here's Kyrie. Left-handed dribble to the mid-post. Stop and pop jumper. Rattled it in. Kyrie Irving up to 12 points. He's 5 of 16 shooting tonight. Luka is only 6 of 16 shooting tonight. The Wolves have done a number defensively on the Mavs. 90-89. Kyle up top. Drops in a 3. And a big fist pump for Cat. Just his second triple of the night. 92-90. Here's Kyrie around his back. P.J. Washington against Cat. Now back to Irving. Kyrie with a left-handed dribble cut off by McDaniels. Outside the arc. Now drives in. Floats it up off glass. Too strong. The rebound loose. Ant's got it on the run. He and Kyle Anderson 2-on-3. Gets away from Doncic. Ant still with it. Flares out to the wing and waits for the rest of the Wolves to join him in the offensive end. Cat still with it. Isolated against P.J. Washington. He waves Rudy out. Now a drive by Ant to the elbow. Goes to the opposite corner. Cat got time. Fires the 3 and drains it again. 3 for 3 from long range for Karl Anthony Towns. The Wolves go up 5 with 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
So smart by Kyle Anderson. You saw Kyle waving Cat into the corner. When the ball rotates to Cat in the corner, it's Kyle who sets the screen on the rotating defender, which didn't allow him to close out to Cat.
Great
screen. Smart play by Kyle Anderson.
Tremendous screen. Timeout on the floor. 95-90. The Wolves lead in Game 4 with 5 minutes left to play. Don't go anywhere on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park for some tug-of-war. Or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel. Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Scoreboard update brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Let's go places. We can go to Indiana. Last night, Game 4 between the Pacers and Celtics. Boston with a chance at a clean sweep of that Eastern Conference Finals. They did just that, a 105-102 victory. They trailed by 9 with under 9 minutes to play in the ballgame, then proceeded to rip off a 20-8 run. Jaylen Brown, he had 29, 6 boards, 3 steals, and 2 dimes in the Game 4 victory. He was named Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Jason Tatum added 29 in that closeout victory, and he looked ahead to Boston's second NBA Finals appearance in the last 3 seasons.
It's special, right? Even though we've been there before, most of us have, you don't take it for granted, right? We were excited. It's a hell of a team we just played. They made us earn every single game, and we're extremely grateful to, move on to the finals.
Impressive run from the Celtics, certainly. They came up short against Steph Curry and the Warriors last time they were at this level. And, of course, last year came up painfully short in that Eastern Conference Finals 7-game loss against the Heat. In fact, in that series, the Heat had that 3-0 lead. Boston battled all the way back to win the next 3 and nearly accomplished what no NBA team has been able to. That's erase a 3-0 series deficit and advance out of that series. Wolves are trying to do just that. They're trying to close out this Game 4 first and foremost. Let's get back to Dallas.
Cal, we are headed down to the wire once again. It'll be the 4th consecutive game that the Wolves have the lead with under 5 minutes left to play. We currently have 5:04 left, but the Wolves are up by 2 possessions, 95-90. Down the stretch has been a disaster for the Wolves in the first 3 games. Can they turn things around in Game 4? They send out Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kyle Anderson, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. Cat is off the floor as they're looking to have some defense here with a 5-point lead. Kyle Anderson is hounding Luka Doncic, picking him up full court. Luka in the 4th quarter has just 1 point. Kyrie is just 2 of 6 shooting in the 4th. Those have been the 2 big guns. They've been averaging 19 points a 4th quarter together. Yeah. Here's Luka popping a straightaway 3. In and out, no. Finally a miss from Luka Doncic. And the Wolves call a timeout here. So this will be their use it or lose it timeout. Still with a minute 46 before that magic 3-minute mark. But they get the stop. They've got the ball. They likely probably get Cat back in the game.
I mean, that's Luka's first shot of the quarter. I mean, he was 0 for 0 in the quarter so far. You mentioned Kyrie being 2 of 6. So this next 2 minutes is going to determine this game, I got a feeling. I mean, a lot's going to happen in the next 2 minutes. And, boy, Minnesota dodged a bullet right there because Luka was wide open top of the circle that time when he took the shot.
And he has hit 4 of 6 3-pointers in 4th quarters so far in this series. That's why, I mean, he and Kyrie are combined 9 of 13 on their threes in 4th quarters. You just assume every single one of their threes is going in. Actually, you can take away the threes part. Every 2 or a 3.
Right.
These guys have been unbelievable.
Well, they've done a good job on Kyrie Irving in this game, wouldn't you say? I mean, they've...
Absolutely.
I mean, Kyrie...
is 5 of 17 shooting, 1 of 6 from deep.
Unbelievable.
Luka's 6 of 17 now after that last miss and 3 of 8. I mean, this is by far, they've gone for 60-plus points between the two in 2 of the first 3 games, and they almost reached 60 in Game 2. But tonight they have total just 36 points. Meanwhile, Ant and Cat, look at this. It's the top 2 guys we've been talking about in this series that Cat and Ant had to come closer to matching what Kyrie and Luka maybe not beating them, but matching it. They've got 47 points combined between the 2 of them, and Cat.
But Cat and Rudy Gobert have been so good here in the 4th quarter. They've combined for 15 points in the quarter for Minnesota.
And Cat's fed a lot of Rudy's offense.
Exactly right.
So Timberwolves bring it up here. They get Cat back on the floor. Horn set. They give it to Ant left side. Back to the right side and nearly errant pass by Ant. He has 6 turnovers. Kyle with it up top. Shot clock is down to 10. Trying to get it Cat. Free throw line extend against Derrick Jones. They lob it down low to Rudy. Rudy against Doncic. Mid post. Starts to back him down. Trying to get a shot off. And he does throw it up there. And he draws a foul.
Wow. It's going to be the 14th foul. But Rudy's shooting the basketball. So he's going to go to the free throw line for 2 points. Unbelievable. Luka just walling up, or thinking he did, but Reed actually did a nice job of going up and under and then drawing the foul on Doncic.
Have a hard time believing that was the play that they drew up out of the timeout, but it works. And there were 9/10 of a second left on the shot clock when Luka fouled Rudy. So free throws coming up for Rudy Gobert, who's 5 of 7 at the free throw line tonight. First 3 games, he was 9 of 14. Missed it long. Off the back iron, it stays 95-90.
These are the moments you go back after the game and you go back to the play-by-play and you look at what happened when. You need one of these free throws. Tight game like this, you can't leave anything to chance, either the referees or to Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, and Rudy misses both. Man.
14 for 23 at the free throw line in the series now for Rudy Gobert. Here's Luka on the hunt against Kyle Anderson. Into the paint, out to P.J. Washington. Baseline drive, rises up, double clutches, missed the layup. He was looking to posterize Rudy Gobert, and he got denied. The ball ends up out of bounds. It'll stay Dallas basketball. 4:03 left to go in the fourth. The Wolves are still up by 5.
Boy, it looked like Daniel Gafford might have knocked that one out of bounds, but Minnesota does not have a challenge.
On the baseline, Luka's got 14 on the shot clock. He lobs it out towards midcourt. Derrick Jones Jr. with it. Now to Kyrie on the right side, guarded by McDaniels. Off the high screen, Kyrie's left alone. Bounce pass baseline, reverse slam. Daniel Gafford. The Wolves defense completely fell apart. 3:50 left to play in the game. It's a one-possession contest.
Karl Anthony Towns just has no help deterring the drive of the Dallas player that time.
Ant's got 25. He gets the Rudy screen up top. Now he's got the switch onto Derrick Jones Jr. Ant with a right-handed dribble. Between the legs. Now does get in the paint. Rises up. Double clutches. Shot. No whistle. And Derrick Jones Jr.'s got the rebound. 95-92. Luka leads Dallas into the front court. They trail by 3 off a high screen by Gafford. Luka snakes his way. Steps back for the 3. It's offline. The rebound loose, and the Timberwolves have it with 3:15 left to play. Up 95-92. And up in the front court, off the Kyle Anderson screen, now against Luka Doncic, hunts him to the mid-post, backs it out. 3 minutes left to play in the game. 95-92. Ant with it up top. Still Luka on him. Left-handed dribble. Down the left side of the lane. Out to Cat. He's going to fire on a 3 and drain it. 4 for 4 from long range for Karl Anthony Towns. And the Wolves lead by 6 with 2:48 left to play.
You got to stay focused now.
Kyrie Irving across midcourt with a left-handed dribble, attacks inside the arc, into the paint, bounces it out to P.J. Washington. Ant's got the coverage there. Ant knocks it away as P.J. tried to drive. He lost it out of bounds, and the Wolves take control with 2:36 left to play. Up by 6. Mike Conley's going to come back in the game. Kyle Anderson's going to come out. Kyle has played 23 minutes here tonight. Chris Finch said he wanted to play him more. He's done so.
Jason Kidd has really not gone back to his bench either. Dante Exum had 5 points in 4 minutes, and he has not seen any action here in the second half.
Conley up into the front court over the last 3:05. The Wolves are on a 9-2 run. Conley drifts to the right side off a staggered screen. Now to Rudy, top of the key. Hand off to Cat. Cat will line up the 3. It got blocked. P.J. Washington knocked it out of his hands. Luka Doncic has got it. Up into the front court. Luka on the hunt. Into the paint. Hangs and lobs it to the corner. Derrick Jones Jr. the corner 3. No! And Ant has the rebound. The Wolves survive the possession. Finally a miss on a corner 3, where Dallas is shooting up over 50% for the series. Ant with it up top, up by 6. 2 minutes left to play in the game. High Rudy screen, switching to the left hand. Ant will back it out beyond the arc. Derrick Jones Jr. on him. Ant hunting, with the right hand into the paint, skips to a stop, little swirl move, up off glass, got it, banking it home. 2 Mavericks hit the deck and beat the shot clock buzzer and puts the Wolves up 192. It's an 11-2 Timberwolves run.
Oh my gosh.
Doncic pump fakes, fires the 3, no. Cat fell for the cell, and he commits his 6th personal foul. Luka knew it, knew what he was doing, executed it perfectly. Cat's done. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc.
I'll tell you what, you've got to tip your cap to Karl Anthony Towns. He does not played well in this game, but he shot the ball well here in the second half. He's got 20 in the half, and he's been so good here in the fourth quarter too.
Can't excuse him for the ticky-tack foul earlier in the game. He should be still in the game.
His defense has been horrendous. His fouling has been inopportunities. He had terrible technique, but he has made shots here, and it's what's catapulted Minnesota into the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Luka's at the free throw line. 192 is the score. He hits the first.
He's going to get 3 free throws. I mean, he was behind the line.
I believe he was. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm wondering. It is 3 shots coming. So he hits the first. It's a 7-point game. Second one is good.
Wolves need to score 4 more points in this game.
That's the magic number, huh?
I think you need to get to 104.
Wolves trailed by 1 with 5:42 left to go in the game. Then they went 11-2 to lead it 192, but Luka has answered with 3 straight free throws off the inbound. Ant got stripped by Derrick Jones Jr., but it stays Timberwolves basketball. There's 97 seconds left to go in the Wolves season. They've got a 5-point lead, trying to extend it. If they can hold that lead, they extend their season. Here's Ant crossing midcourt. Rejects the Rudy screen. Gets right in the lane. Pulls up for the jumper. It's short. Luka's got the rebound. 1:23 left. Doncic stops at the 3-point line. Off to P.J. Washington. Right back to Doncic. He'll get a Washington screen. Now he switched on to Rudy Gobert. Left-handed dribble. Mike comes on the double. Forces a pass out. Derrick Jones Jr. open in the corner. He drives. Spins. Kicks out. P.J. Washington. Angle 3. Missed it long. Rebound comes out to Kyrie. Minute 5 left. Timberwolves still up by 5. Floater in the lane. Drops in for Kyrie Irving. It's a 1-possession game with 1:02 left. Ant went really quickly that last offensive possession, Jim. There was still 15 on the shot clock.
And he looks exhausted right now, too, unfortunately.
5 straight Dallas points there within 3. Ant is holding out by midcourt. The shot clock is down to 8. It's down to 6. He starts to move off the Rudy screen. Ant with a left-handed dribble, now with 3. He'll pull up. It's a deep 2, and he drains it. A right side 21-footer for Anthony Edwards puts the Wolves up 2 possessions with 38.8 seconds left. How big was that shot? Anthony Edwards, 29 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. He's putting up Luka numbers tonight. 38.8 left to play. 102.97. Boy, that quick shot by Ant bugs me because it's a numbers game at that point. It's a possession game with the time down to just over a minute. If you bleed another 10 seconds off, that has a huge impact, but he makes up for it with just a tremendous, you mentioned how tired he is, and for him to pull up on a deep 2 like that with a game on the line, huge.
There was no way that they were going to let him get to the rim. And so when he uses the Rudy Gobert screen, he pulls up into mid-range jump shooting range, just inside that right elbow. So it's one of his kill zones. I mean, it's definitely in his wheelhouse, and it's one of his favorite shots to get to that free throw line elbow area. You think about Kobe Bryant, and they used to talk about Kobe Bryant's kill zones, right? And Kobe used to get to his spots, and Ant had the same ability right there. I mean, that is beautiful Anthony Edwards basketball. We'll still need one more hoop, I think. 38.8 to go here. Dallas has one more field goal. Can you get a stop on this possession? This would be huge for Minnesota.
Dallas will be able to inbound in the front court. Ant and Cat, over the first 3 games, averaged 37 points on 35% shooting. Tonight, they've got 54 on 54% shooting. Dallas will inbound in the front court on the right side. PJ Washington will bring it in. Dallas is 2 for their last 8 from the field. The inbound comes to Kyrie. They trail by 5. Off the Gafford screen, drifting left. Kyrie with it. Zips it inside. Threw it right to Kyle Anderson. He gets the steal. The Timberwolves have possession with 28 seconds left. To Conley left side. Back to Ant. Boy, Dallas is not going to foul here. There's only a 6-second differential. Now they foul Conley. They'll give it to Gafford. This will be free throws for Mike Conley with 20.3 seconds left. Wow. I mean, Kyrie's pass there wasn't a Maverick in sight.
They sped him up a lot in this game. Defense was fantastic for Minnesota that time. You know, I got to tell you, I really think Kyle Anderson has been a huge addition, and how much he's played in this game has been invaluable. 25 minutes for Kyle Anderson. He only has 2 points, but the decision-making he's done in this game, the defense that he's added has been invaluable. The basketball IQ of Minnesota went up a bunch here in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter execution with Kyle Anderson in the game.
This is a series he can play in. There's a matchup against Luka Doncic. Mike misses the second free throw, so he goes 1 out of 2. Timberwolves by 6 with 16 seconds left. Doncic up top off a screen, double clutches on the 3, and he hits it, and there was a foul. Scott Foster calls a foul. It's going to go against Anthony Edwards. That's his 5th. Luka to the free throw line with 13.2 seconds left. The one thing you couldn't afford to have happen just happened. Luka runs up the back he got a screen from Gafford. That threw a wrench into the plans defensively for the Wolves. And Luka rose up over the back of Ant, and somewhere in there was apparently a foul.
How is that a foul on Anthony Edwards?
Because Scott Foster says it is. Now with 13.2 left, there's a 3-point differential. Does Luka try to miss intentionally? Probably not.
He's going to make it, and they're going to foul.
Free throw on his way. Oh, Rudy missed it. Rudy's got the rebound and the foul with 12.8 seconds left. Luka Doncic. Boy, he missed a clutch free throw that would have won one of those Oklahoma City Thunder games. Must have been game 4 here in Dallas. Yeah, he just grabs his front of his shirt and takes a big bite out of his little white trim up around the neckline.
Well,
103-100 with 12.8 seconds left. Rudy Gobert will be at the free throw line for 2 shots. There is a timeout called. Each team now with 1 timeout remaining.
You know, there are so many plays that I'm just really, it's really questionable to me that I don't understand. I don't understand the Anthony Edwards steal on Derek Gafford earlier where he gets the steal, but he does hit the hand of Daniel Gafford, and I thought the hand was part of the ball. It didn't go Minnesota's way. You think about the Luka Doncic foul on Karl Anthony Towns. Towns is 6th. I didn't think you could jump into a contesting hand, and I just didn't think that was a foul on Karl Anthony Towns at the end, too. So now this one going against Anthony Edwards. I mean, I know that Doncic misses a free throw, but still, I mean, it looked like there was no contact on Anthony Edwards' contesting shot that time. So, I mean, Chris Finch is going to have a field day sending clips into the league after this game.
Do you think that helps? I mean, every team does it, but my goodness.
I don't think it helps.
Yeah, I don't think it does a thing.
Got to get it in.
Timberwolves, it's not in the act of shooting, so Dallas had a foul to give. Kyle Anderson struggling to get it in. They lob it to Naz Reed to the rim. He got the layup with the right hand. 105-100, and Dallas has called a timeout. Dallas was so pressuring off the inbound that Naz...
Just give him space and work the ISO.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah.
First 3-0 in elimination games postseason. Just what does that kind of say about this team and their ability to play with their back against the wall?
Yeah, I think we've been a resilient team all year. I think, we didn't lose. We never lost 3 in a row until we got to the playoffs. So we never lost 4 in a row. Guys, respond. It's a fun team to coach because they believe that they can always win no matter what. So.
Was it consistency of calls out there? Is that what was bothering you? How did you see the game?
Yeah, I thought it was a little inconsistent for sure. For sure.
We saw you tonight, very active at sidelines, you being in the huddle. What do you think, how important was that for the team to see that you also gave it all in tonight?
Yeah, my job was to inject emotion into the game. So,
Chris, you went with Anton, Luka, and Jaden and on Kyrie defensively on the end. I know mixed up throughout the game, but what did you like about that look?
I mean, we're down 3-0. Just shuffling the deck. Ant's good on ball, good at navigating screens. Maybe a little length on Kyrie could help. I mean, those guys are just, obviously the length on Doncic hadn't really been hasn't been bothered him as much. So we just tried something different, So.
Ant's game overall tonight, almost another triple-double. It seemed like he's seeing the floor a little bit better as far as making those skip passes. What did you see tonight?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. I mean, we looked at a bunch of stuff at halftime where, we were missing people, and he was key amongst all that. And he did an unbelievable job adjusting and coming out in the second half and getting us a lot of easy looks.
Do you think they were missing Derek Lively a little bit tonight?
Yeah, he's a outstanding young player. Big part of what they do. When they platoon those two bigs, they just keep coming at you. A lot of size, a lot of bounce, a lot of activity. And they swallow up the rim. Yeah, no doubt they miss him.
Lost a lot of the fouls and tough breaks and everything like that in the third quarter. You guys are still +5 in that quarter. What did you do well in that quarter, do you think, in the third quarter?
I mean, we didn't turn it over. That was huge. I think we only had maybe 2 turnovers in that quarter for sure. Defensively, I thought we were, ball contain was better. Ball contain's been so for us. And then Ant got, we got good looks every time down. Really did. So.
Any other questions?
All right, head coach Chris Finch in his post-game media press conference there after losing 3 straight games in clutch time. The Timberwolves outscored the Mavericks 16-10 over the final 5:42. They win it 105-100. Minnesota now 3-0 in elimination games. They force a game number 5 coming up on Thursday night at Minnesota. More of the post-game show is next after a 105-100 victory over the Mavs on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
Hey, honey, the battery light on my dash lit up. I think I'll take it to a shop today.
Really? I can take care of that.
Are you sure?
Of course. Okay, got my battery. Let's just drop it in and...
Are you okay out there?
I think so.
Should my car be smoking like that?
Some things are better left to the professional. When you need your vehicle fixed, trust your local repair facility. And when you need a battery, trust FVP. Visit FVPparts.com for an installer near you.
Hey, this is Ben Lieber from my friends at Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. I am passionate about the benefits of regenerative agriculture, and these guys get it. Thousand Hills implements holistic grazing practices that restore and enhance our soil and natural resources. It's how farming should be. Plus, the beef is delicious. No antibiotics, no synthetic hormones, no feedlot confinements, just grazing on diverse pastures for the entire life of the animal. Check out this Minnesota brand at your local food co-op, Coburn's, or learn more at thousandhillslifetimegraze.com.
Just desperate. We left it all out there. We got to be able to do it again in about 48 hours. So it's exciting. It's good to get on the board. Got to get 1 to get 2.
Kyle Anderson, right after the game, he joined us post-game after a 105-100 victory over the Dallas Mavericks in Game 4. Alan Horton along with you, Jim Peterson. Hey, when you're Jim Pete and you get to fly home with the owner, Glenn and Becky Taylor, you got to leave the post-game a little bit early. We'll talk to Jim again on Thursday night for Game 5 up at Target Center. It'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off show. It'll be a 7:35 tip, Game 5. Timberwolves win a game, extend the series, and now things get interesting Thursday night as Dallas who had ideas about clinching a spot in the NBA Finals. Not so fast. It is Game 5 coming up on Thursday. This is the Federated Insurance postgame show here on the Timberwolves Radio Network. 29 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists for Anthony Edwards. He did have 6 turnovers in the game. He did shoot under 50%, but Ant was on the hunt. He would not let the Timberwolves lose this game, and his scoring has gone up in each of the 4 games in the series, from 19 to 21 to 26 to 29 points. He nearly pulled off a triple-double for the first time in his career. Would have been a postseason career triple-double. 29, 10, and 9. And how about Karl Anthony Towns? 9 of 13 shooting, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. In the series, Cat had struggled, 29% shooting, 3 of 22 from deep, but he turned those